Wakire wia nende omoncho morigereria Getembe TV ase emambi yabono litkoneria Jumanne emambi yetitariki 19 omotinyo yega ogatano na gatatu amotukagende tukominyoka tigire 12 Matinyo gatano gatatu onyare wakanse na kibwakire nsemo kichiri konyora chibicha na bwigo erio gieriga akorwa nchinguru kwa Matildah Obaigwa. Karibu sana asensemo ye kionga usimeo muroberio yoga Etwani Getembe nakoro assisted ya gabrene nere Mike Wisdom kakonekia kwa nyore chibicha neriogi asinchira ere engi kerano kigima nasiri tukerigaria ya Jumanne turachikorigereria amangi egati yabo mangana siasa mangana ali agendete kubwaterania mwanya kitinge naho igo negati yabo ebikorwa biri vitali ebyabutambe buna omurikito Daniel Ntiri akora kumanyanga nase bikorwa vitali ebyabutambe ikigima. Karibu sana tusange asinjira ere iyo wamochinse moyo cha Facebook na bigo YouTube buna Getembe TV asinjira yabene nekero tugochaka na mangana asiasa mwancho murigiria semambi yabono ekero uyo kabiri omwaziri omukuru bw'obulendi bwaime omoske Dr. Fred Matiang'i agendrete korokia na boigo gwakira ekoko iganga yae yogocha kuboria ekirugo ky'oburai wense nekira agendrete netaro yae ase orobongo rwa Mount Kenya ase bono agendrete gose anyarire gukora etaro yae ase omotukabire ime ye county eri ya Meru na boigo gusanga nabamenyi bechinsemecho na boigo gukwanira amang'ana ao ayo arengete abakenya ane mono ase ensemo ya siasa na boigo oburai.
Haya. Na wananchi, wakati umefika sasa nchi yetu ya Kenya, wakati umefika wa kusema la, hapana, hatuwezi kukubali. Tukatae. Na vile kiongozi mwingine amesema hapa, enough is enough. Yeah. Hatuwezi kuendelea namna hii kwa sababu in fact some countries can survive corruption. And institutions can survive corruption, but I don't know of a country that can survive looting. Because what is happening here is looting. It's not even corruption. Massive looting of the country. Tukiangalia namna hii, tusikubali maneno kama haya. Na watu wakizungumza ni fitisho sasa. Tutamkamata Rigathi. Tutamkamata huyu Rigathi Gachagua akikuja kwa airport twende tumkamate. Na mambo Rigathi anasema, mimi nimesema Rigathi hayo maneno Rigathi anasema kila mtu ameyaona. Mimi nimeyasoma two international papers. About 3 or 4 weeks ago, The Economist, ambayo mnajua is one of the strongest voices in the UK, has published an editorial piece with a scathing story on this administration and its leaders, using a language that is even stronger than I've heard Gachagua use or even any one of us in the opposition use, describing our leaders in a very, very strong language and the things they are doing in our country. Juzi nyinyi mko hapa, mliona gazeti moja hapa ya Kenya imechapisha story kuhusu silaha na vile silaha imeuzwa na vile tumetumika hapa kupeleka silaha kwa nchi jirani. Hakuna mkubwa wa serikali alizungumzia hiyo maneno, mlisikia nyinyi? Hakuna mtu, kwa sababu maneno ikizungumzwa na mnyamaze inamaanisha kuna nini? Kuna ukweli. Hawa wakuzungumza sasa ni kutisha, kamata Rigathi, kamata huu. Yani things become criminal when they come out of Rigathi's mouth. Hii maneno ya kufanya watu kana kamba ni wajinga, wao wenyewe ndio walituambia wakati walikuwa wana campaign 2022 eti wajinga waliisha Kenya. Kwa hivyo wajinga walirudi wakati waliingia serikali. Ama namna gani? Si walituambia eti wajinga wameisha Kenya. Sasa wajinga walirudi wakati waliingia serikali. Na kama wajinga walirudi wakati waliingia serikali, mbona walikubalia wajinga wakarudi? Kwa sababu walituambia wakati wa uchaguzi, walikuwa wanatuambia kila siku hiyo story yao kipindi kila siku, wajinga wameisha Kenya, sijui deep state nini. Sasa yote ni uongo tu, yani ukora. Sasa wajinga walirudi namna gani kuja kuambiwa haya maneno atuambia?
monje muligereire gutigana na roboti rwa Dr. Fred Matiang'i abanyanyimbo nigo bachakire obutuki kubwatikana negekore ase umuruki woyomo bw'emiaka 10 mwana omomura bw'emiaka 15 na ibere bono anyarete gutuka mbarabare nepara gakwete boigo ase omubiri oye otogete otari nechanga chionsi ayaiga nigagokorekana chinsemo chia kemera egotoka emiaka 37 ekaunti ya Nyamira buna omurikito Daniel Ontiri agotumanya
bikore by'abantu gosirie mage mabo hasi cinjira cyobotutukano hasi umubaro nigo bererekanire gukina na munasa matuka wangoiga nase ikiga hasi roboti rwabene numugano bumoroki goiga Clinton Obenga w'emyaka 15 nebere kurwase kenyero Kenya mubiro ime akimira hasi kitutu masaba uyo siretie obugemo bwaye mubasokano litukuri igoro
mwana mitachete saine chabutuko akantura akamboli kwambo ukorara kurusa kumibaka saine boka ngotebi akantebi nga 150 akasoka akaikagesieli akaira na tabi kite shati kama ngotebi kwambe kentokere nebira kogotebi t-shirt eli yale kasi datandura kabuka ngaisaransa ngamoboli asiki agantebi karati gakomboli igongi gwete toralindagera agachaka kondageria mochere kamuntebi gakitingi gwetindagera swega kikwari gotigandare nari Clinton antebeti igeto kiagera natandure t-shirt eyu twagosana nomonto koro kwa seko agantebi nga 150 ngenda ndatesime ungakanere tobuye ngoma kabwa 150 agatirimbo kamata sibamura bamwabo bakagamba chachitoro chikangira ngarara mana timeti Clinton yo minto karuga buchinsasa ogete dache tego turuke mami muna Clinton yale para gai
nyegosira Obenga nigo wiko kwae arenge omoroki gwa wekerasi ye 11 ase skuru ye secondary Konge SDA nigo ya matiaye egoteba buna nigo arorekanete moisonde karibuya chingaki wairete akabura wikabuna umubero yo chete gotoka mbarabare ne para sensemo ya moitunya ye gotoka umugonchoro mbarabare ne para korusire rongi nigo orengene chingoma chintindi asumutwe
ono igoro mambia alingonya ngobori kuna Clinton nara tayo Clinton iga kwete ari moitunya na kiregento gaiga aremire korona negenta kireiga asene na testa erigete iga ani arugete na wando chenaro cha maumifu areo
Elijah Maubi na Alice Mura abaibuli bae bamoteba ko mosae werwete ke masomo na nigo agendrete kwerigania hase motemo ya manene yekirasi 12 umwako gocha batabuna nigo batigirwe obuchuti koboko
ndamukwanere na ntokonyera akeigo naende na bara ichanda ina mama gaki naragosire nako goseire umwana umuya
igorende tune kenyoro ne family na bamwabo ne amate nabo tubwatu gwichano konene asengenjo gwikabono igantura manyanga ngakibuku kwaye kore
oboteneri wenseme nigo bwakwanira ukugania kwa burendi gotingi waiga wonencheremo yogokania ebikore bingabunebi
chipatrol chiara abe kuna basigari baitu bakora chipatrol yakanda manyete gege somanyete abasigari go baro abasigari ntomanyete na baro bwo mucho yito no bwata abasigari gaiga se society igobo sibo le nimo bwanda ko bekwa abasigari bara patrol ne gari babwata ya serikali yara etana na igango bona karba etana timbango bato nyorete no abantu na bari goito mwana egere batokonye
mubiro nyegosira nigo ukendereta singendo yemo yabanyene ime yomucho bosongo nechinga kicho okuboria kwabekwa ne amatiga esirwe kuwatikana abayigo nebirengo biriguru byubutaka kurwasa abayibuli nkurubuterega tasene kya Getembe kurega se kaunti ya Nyamira literane ngurukwo Daniel Ontiri
Engorene na kuchase ya mate ya omusa uyu na gusuka obusio mwanju murigire chingaki abagotu bagenderete kwenyorera enengo yabo inse y'omurobere oino wa jami aiga ase inse ya Kenya nigo obono enka emo guse mate emo y'omugaka Zakayo Nyariki koro ase chinsemo ochikenyoro ky'omusasa igotoka ime wodi ya Nyansiongo ime ya Borabu county ya Nyamira bono mate ya nyare kwa murungania kuna omugaka oyo bwate miaka gwetania mieyamo nigo anyarete kurusigwa ase omuroberi oyo maereso ande onsi ateyonekero bono baborire abateneneri gose bonsi bari abarai nabo igo bamanyete buna omuroberi oyo oino wa jami ogokora emeremo banyare kwenekia buna abaria bonsi bagotire banyare kubekwa ase omuroberi oyo nabo igo ekero andake chibese chichitari gocha banyara kubwatoka amaereso aisaine polkapo kara norobochuru kurase chinsemo icho
Kamutei babarende gakinchekeri angorore ng'aki ebese iye ng'aye kagete enchera yagete onekero bachiete komoreka rende bantebeti ng'a ntorochi gose bese ineroro
nkwikaga igasenka ya Zakayo Nyariki oyoro mogotu ubwate miaka gwetania emieyemo ase tokumirana amo nomong'ina Emili Kanyanjoka Nyariki gakwerera muna batema gutara ase duka yokoruisia besa ko tibarayenyora gwika bono
igo mbwate ebirengeri mpaka ngusunyukuragira nkuiguswa omobere amaene nkuiguswa omobere mpaka bono iga mari gakona gocha ng'a inki gose
negento koreng'ana muna Nyanjoka agendera ko bagakwigera ng'a ebese nigo yabakonya eri kurenda omogotu oyiga ase gwika bono bataranyora ebese erio bagendete kweburia amaburia mange asinyirwo ekibagokora
nagorera omogaka omotu ase eng'encho ogotira onyora omosori onywa bono ebese ekorwa omotienyi osita mpaka bono igo omotienyi osaba tindanyora bese eyio bono achiete kogenda ng'a echiachire nkanyora ng'a message yane tekoreti ki techeti mpaka bono iga nabo ngochi korigereria esimi kende tikeyo
nakio kiagerire getasine kiga kia Getembe kiamurigirie oyomo bwa bakoreri nanene bokubaikanga abagotu abagekorwa ase ebinyoro korwa ase chinseme chigachi ewadi ya Nyansionga asereta Petrus Kimuma oyo kwerera enchera atemire konyara ko bagagokonya abange egento koreng'ana monera aganirie serikali gwesora negati eri kubatoria abange babo abaiga bagendere ko baguchandika inyarekane buna nigo bari abataka abahere
abagotu bachandikire ase eng'encho ebesa bakanyorire yabakonya bono igate iyo nambeyemo abagotu bari ababepi nabwo rero barusirie ase program bagochi kobaterwa ebesimi yaye yateba ng'a not interbailable bono nonya ekiriteri batumeka mba baeti nonya na enotisi yokobatebi ng'aki bono gochakera omotienyi omori gocha koria ekero ogotara mono naende nonya na echisimi echi chiacha ng'a inwe achami citizen abagotu abange nonya na esimi mbamanyeti koyetwara mbamanyeti korenda elaini emechando babwate neri ng'a nonya na ekero bachire chiempesa chinyinge chia agent igo togokura ng'a Nyasaye eserikali konya abagotu bono Safaricom konya abagotu nonya na oyo obwate buna bono chiachete inye ochigocha ibere yaorokia balance igere chiri bwinye lakini abande igo bako bachiri bwibere batigara na echiri bwibere iga abagotu nkorera bare kobwa mono ekero abakonye bakoria bono barusiwe
ning'ana wigo eamatiga yasingire na kugania serikali na nene abaraikorwa asorwa ngoro iga gwesora negatibu na enchera yamo yokobatoria abagotu abange erio komenya asobweko bwensi yiga
omong'ina Nyariki igarerire bobe tari korara torogera ritukakobori ng'a igo ninki bono inche ninki abande nkonyora bare abasani bagotebani nki erare koruseriwa naende ekero okomorigeria amaenere nere omotaka omwere
omoisimi gwosero gaki ababa okong'o gaki kobarororo gaki tiga ngobarigererie baiche barora abagotu abaiga ng'a nabwo babwenerete koba banyora kende bagwekonyera gaki bache bararigererie baratorigereria isika muna tokorera
igingo ripoteri getasini kia obwanchete kia Getembe korwa sinseme chiga chikanyori kamanyakanite buna omosasa ewadi ya Nyansionga ebunga ya Borabu county na ya Nyamira inchigo nkuruko Polycarp okara
Oncho murigereria gutigana nayo na bwigo eamate iyo musao yo mu miaka ya igato umanyekanite buna Eric Ondonga nigo na ero yaborire ogokonyo na bwigo butuki bunyare gukorekana kubwatakana na kiri buna umusao yo nigo anyarite goito na gutigera chingoma chintindi echichererete ere gosiria obogima bwaye rituko rigoro umambi ayega niga gukorekana ase kinyoro kia water supply ime ya keroka ime ya nyari bari masaba ekaunti ya Kisii buna umurikito Gabriel Nyakundi agutumanya
Amate amaona bananchi bekinyoro kia water supply keroka iyo gutoka ase location ya mabuko ebunge nyari bari masaba ekaunti ya Kisii nigo bari no mwichano maiga y'umusai w'imyaka igatwa uyu munyekaini buna Eric Ondonga gutoka ritukoro igoro kagusaganwa n'abantu batamanyekaini kurengana na ngina nigo erera na guteba buna nigo aretere toroboti buna nigo abantu gete bagendrete kumuchwata omwana oye
Obaigwa ngaba kona na rugide wana kerna ngabwata ngaruga tinkiti kola gero kuma bwansi ngabwata ngabeke chayediko na sijaye gansinya konyu ngarangiri ngairo kuma buli mwana nyombe nene ngabeko echadi ngonyada ngabeke nyombe nene wongide tega nkaransite ngaranse bole kanyoro mwana ndo kondangiri korangiri okondangiri ingora ngomatebye naonde ngozo kwangonyoro mwana namo mayete byega lakini nganyano mochokoro o marandu ngabwata ngakante byo mwana wangu itwale oli mwina ali goitwa
nigo amentara guteba buna nigo mwana oye atigere tuchingoma chimbe icho cherera ere gusiria obugima bwaye
kinse kyamambira ndi chikoma cheke nati kuligeze ndakibona mwana oya nabeiriga nakiyagende tamagoroiga nategere ko nasoka guchiebara nanyala abana bande nabwata nabalangiri akindangiri pasta naliye narangiri pasta ochomarora oligeri ogenda nadibacha na ndugu yane kunyagwoka
mwana oyo nje na maito gusoitirwe nje mbona mambingo chikuboka nyubwe bikuru ngobuli ngai bone bikuru ebibyaru ngayaya umojokoro okure inki ngayite tu ngomoitete ngantunto komanya natiri mbukalende gocha naja korora nanyora nchu umojokoro na baraire
ase amatega yaganire konyora obwene igoro y'umwana obo uyu nyarete goitwa na gusiria obugima bwaye ritukorerero
aki mwana oyo gukwa kwete ngidimete na kya kwete yasana romanyete agisiyombanya saora akane ngotaba mina gwikira gasayo
nere swana ni asamangana yo mwana oyo ne bunaitetwe tonyore yaki yitukwetero mwana oyo neriki nabona
kingo reporteria Getembe Getembe kurwa sebunge nyari bari masaba ekaunti ya Kisii nchengruko Nyakundi Gabriel
Mwanchu murigereria marange abantu bamenyete eno bolema nigo abange babo bakwirura nigo obakoba abasabiriri kurende ase omongena umanyekana tubuna Julia Nyabuya uyu umenyete no butaka boigoro na boigo no bolema nigo ere abeire uyu bwe tofauti kiagira nigo abeire ka wetoma nabo koneke buna onyare kurageria abana bae nabo yuko basome kwikira bono banyare wika ase e university omwanchu murigereria ayega ninkoro ase ekenyoro kia nyachururu egotoka me ward ya Bosamaro ebunge ya West Mugirango County ne ya Nyamira
Ogokoria buya asa masomo ni gogokoreta omogoko monene ase eamate engana ekorokia hikimanyirerio gyokoreta uburabu ase kenyoro kurende omugano buyamate yomongina Julia Nyakirario Nyambuya oyo abana baye babere baganirie gochiagosoa ase university gochakira omutieni oyo nigo asinyirwe asa gochakira nase agokorera kubwatikana n'obutaka obwere buri ase nkaya yaje.
Ndio nafanya mtihani. Nilipata grade ya P-. Naenda kusoma Rongo University. Course inaitwa Bachelor of Science Education. Kufikia kwa sasa sijapata kitu yoyote ya kwenda kujoin campus.
Nilisoma shule ya upili ya Nyachururu ambapo nilipata grade ya C+. Nikiitwa kwenda Masinde naenda kusomea kosi ya cosmetology and beauty science. Kwa sasa hivi sijapata kitu cha kwenda kutumia huko.
Abana aba ni gomongina Kisii and Nyamira aberega gukora uburemi obokoboke gwikinyeni asukubakanira school fees ase secondary gwikabarabwo gukora biyana gweta iriko kya kugenda ase university.
Nabona bajete bagakora primary bagasoya secondary Nyachururu bone getiche kana kingonya kulima iga na ile school fees na kanera abana nabo no bongo kana tugitubukeiga na rusio maginororo na ile school bandikire school fees ya twamenya ile nenchale ndoro abana matukanda onyora mbabu atikende bakoria lakini balemere kwende school mwana oyo no mumura nero gotema na bagotema sana okoreki ekerale weekend otemwa oenda no ine kondo
Obokongu bonde borase eyamate eyiga no borema obwo mongina Kisii and Nyamira ari na borobwo egento bono kirachi komobera egurube enene nonya no gokora kigasi chinkongu echo aratumeke asokonyora enenko ere gosomia abana baye ase university.
Mama ni mlemavu ana pesa anaweza tusaidia kwa twende shule.
Kugorokuwa ne kore malete tindi kwenyara longo tara ne nyimbo tindi kunyara kubugura ibintu kuna bono kubugura ibintu kana enda no ndo chingetwe kama cyo tingonyara kati yembo ate ya stability njanya bokonya ndonso nani naitire totebi kugenda sigete makoni ngenda ndiki no ene besa na kabesa na line pigipigi paka se bakoni bukali na ikororo twaye kuchifomu ijoli tingo chinarora tindiko chananyora ichibulinde kurugesa
Abanya Kenyoro na barabwo nigo bakwanire obokongu bonde obwo bore ase enkeyeiga
uyo Kisii ni yakelario nyabuya kotogosirikinere kanisa yemo umusubati yo igaro single mata igabwata kare magazine ni kare 25 by 100 25 by 30 igokire gento na akonyora kurwa no aino mwana ya abana bayo umuro monene na bamenyete ko munyumba
boigo eyamate eyiga gekuyaitira ayayigonsi boigo taria yoka bagenderete gwetera kurende omunyarukobo uyo ogocha kugenda ase university ya Masinde Muriro nigo abwatu muchando boburoire bwerisangwa obwo bokumubitereria ere utumia amariogo kirari ituko egento kire omuchando monene boigo bokonyora eriogo.
Ugonjwa ni wa ngozi, nikienda hospitali naambiwa ni allergies. Nikipewa madawa sijaipona. Niko hivyo natumia madawa kila siku. Nisipokunywa tena inarudi.
Na bana bangu metina kaka ende skuru nyatingo nyora besecho ako chikobora chikonini na bara chikorwali le skuru abo wana ngotana gaki onde bwensi gaki orara mabira ko nyuma noyo gaki bamugore no ene chikonini echichioka omwana ori achigutumika ese skuru
bono eyamateye yomongira Kisii and Nyamira nigo baganetie ogosirwa kurasonde bwensi ore no moyo omuya
ekende emechanda bwate yere menene abana baye bayetete babere bako ende university bono tabwati kende igale marete bokonyi mboyo njebuno mwaka bw'Kenyorongo sabanga onde bwensi oli ora kunu no moyo omuya abaseneta baito abagabana baito aba MCA baito mwarenge gwanja so moyo ino bwo konya akikonya umungino yoiga na intwe Kenyoro egera abana ababaye bache komokonya asengenjo no mungino ole marete
akibona ngo ngasarara abaninto akibali babwato moyo bubonja ngokonyera abana abayiga aki namba yane yesimi yengotumeka elietali yane elire Kisii nyakera nyabuya namba yesimi gere 07 14 07 14 41 inere namba yane yesimi
Hinko ripota Getembe kurwase Kenyore keiga Kenya Chururu ekyo kegotoka emenye wodi ya Busamaro ebunge ya West Mugirango county ya Nyamira Jeff Atigad Gisemba
mwanchi umurigireria gutigana nayo kurase county ya Nyamira nigo ngukwira wikase bunge ya Bonchari me ye county ya Kisii ekero bono omuroberi bokuruburura echiro yariana me ye bunge yo bono onyarire guchaka gokorekana nigo bono abamenyi benseme yo naboigo abarai abakoro banyarete gukora ugusangirikana ritukore igoro naboigo usanga ebirengererio naki barachio kone kebona echire yo yarosigo hoika koba echiro yekirero inse oburai we county ya Kisii nekero bono banyarete koera buna obuya bugutwara gusi banyarete gukwanira obuya bugutwara oburai obuya naboigo obonchoreria gokorekana gusi obonchoreria bokoboke gokorekana ere gusira chinka ao ase chinseme chomurikito nanko Depon Asanya
abarai b'ekiciro kurwase county ya Kisii lituko lya lero nigo baumirana n'abamenyi be ward ya Riana imeye bunge ya Bonchari asogukwanira ugukina wechiro chinsemekyo
Riana nigo tu yanse tukale sana abagaka bale ngororo abanene bakire lakini onde na barabunje njengo kwana iga nona barabwo bibyasara byane ne byebucha ase Bonchari ga ekinaro lile chiro ya Riana abamura bakire abanyanguru koboki bali chire lya Riana ebe chiro kawaida nande chire ya Riana nere nkoro esuneka ekanganya ku Riana ekaenda suneka
gukonekerekyo nigo bagokera omurobiri yo aso ogosaba oburayo buya burabe bogokinia ekerengo kyo bunchurire chinsemekyo
tukolia rero twagokire mono konyora abo bisabaito koru batenete chichiro bachire gotokwanira iga anene mono ekerenga kiarenge kene keringa toe obuasio lingana kitogo chikokoro bochori
obuya woko bana barai nambe ye mone link ekoba kurwa so monto nsega igo munya biasara go cyase serikali gutorana lakini amatu konsipitu abenge tubwatie link eyo lakini ekogera togoteba nganga kiyarenge buya tochora barai bakobe link kurwa so mwana incho kawaida gochiaria link yo kanki gotokonya ange ubi gune yerese chiro ga yarusibo ange chile ite kwa busubuya ange chiro yeite yagachire buya nonye no muntu utakete kobeke nyumba satakete kobeka agakobeka mambio tago ligwe kiagera tibwati mapingi ngiya igo oburayo botutakete otobotakete buna igoro ango obwachete kare obuya
korengana nobochori buri bosio nigo abantu bari bamenyete noborema baburire kwenyorwa ilio nabarabukonyora omugwakirishi oyurabe gakobarwanirira anene asokonyora obwasio ku
amatuka mange ase oburai nonya nabalemafu batukire kinga kitinyi ambako yatyo mwakirishi noene chire yabona muneko chikwagacho nabego toka ngayaga chirubira ramps igontore no mogoko ngabo chori bogo chikokorwa abalemafu nabarabumbata kire baichi bachora bale abakirishi babo bakwakishanga ramps inchiro nechingorongoro chipunyire ngo tichuchire buya
ekerenge kenene negyo korotota oburayo buya naboigo gukinia ekerengo kyobochenu hase boigo bateba nonye na sense moyoborendi ebwenerete gotingiwa
wakangambu ya mono aso mugafa na ito simba radi aso moroberi muyo kwa tuarire azeri jimwe yao chimake chake gutwara leaders whereby Riana ase bono iga bunegenderete iga aseri tukolia rero ababisa batwashwire nga on Wednesday abana biasara bonse bibatoke gaiga ekiagera twanyanga there before abarai bali at this time nigo bale wechora landlords only lakini bono abanyabiasara babekirumi
nabone gotokorwe chire ya karoseti guno mosike nseyo murai onyancha tiyanya korusubwe goto yabege twali aseta dustbin baka boni ga barai abuna bo baroro ase miake yonsi ko 2010 nabo baroro ntunto maitinga ibago chore lakini asengenjo nyasaye bwanchire buchitore go chora ase twero cherete
amatuka mange twabaire tutabwa tyoburai bo chikaine bono twa discussinga tonyoro burai bo chikaine elio bore to busafiriana ego tunera ali nyinge sana ebekire ebibanda byeito bibe safe security wise
uginko ripotere ketaseni kya obwanchete kya Getembe kuroiga ase chiro ya Riana egotoke bunge ya Bonchari county ya Kisii Riana enkoro kwa Depon Asanya
gutigana nayo mwanchi murigire kurase orogongo rwa Gusii nigo ngukwira bono goika ase serikali enene nigo bono ukungusanana igoro yekigancha kia NGCDF kogenderete konekiwa ase gati ya barai abanene kose korwa ase serikali anene nekira bono yore murai w'ikiama kia ODM Musikira Odinga agenderete kopinga ekigancho ekio na kuburia buna chibese echo nigo chibonete goswa ase chiserikali chichi county gose goswa ase abagavana erio chinyare gwikirania amagendero ase chi county chionsi 42 ime eyense ya Kenya akorende koro asensemo yae oyore omurai bwa barabangi me bunge omusike Kimani Ichung'wa nigo bono nere anyare kwamerania ekerengererie ke ayego nigo abakorekana litukore igoro ekero bono abarai koro ase kiama kia ODM nabo igokoro ase ikiama kia UDA nyarete gukora ugoikaransa iri gusanga ebirengererio buna barachi gukora isabari yabo ya gisiasa ase obochori obonene buri bosi wo mwaka 2027.
If you have yourself being involved in the construction of roads, building of schools, building hospitals, who is going to oversight you? Who is oversighting you? So, Mr. President, I hold very clearly that these MPs know that they should not have any business in trying to implement projects in their constituency. Implementation of projects should be left to the county government.
Your Excellency, also on NGCDF, these members of parliament, just like Senator Aaron Cheruiyot has said, they would have no job if they can't oversight governors. These members of parliament do not run or manage NGCDF, but they offer meaningful oversight on the implementation of projects at the constituency level. Part of our 10-point agenda, Your Excellency, was on strengthening of devolution, and I am a firm believer that we can strengthen devolution without necessarily doing away with NGCDF. NGCDF has been critical in the development of our country and supplements what devolution is doing, and is not in any way in competition with our governors in devolution, Your Excellency.
Your Excellency, I want to say that this is a very important gathering. Last week, both you and the Prime Minister and even the Deputy President spent time with the governors at the devolution conference. And there are certain things that you said, which as members of parliament, we felt that you're keeping not very good company for too long. And members were saying, when will we meet the president and the prime minister, so that they also appreciate things from our perspective as members of parliament. So we hope today you'll also say something about governors after listening from the perspective of members of parliament. Because there are certain things that you said, Prime Minister, which if you stop, then it is as good as telling us to go hard goats as senators.
Mwancho murire ase egikare kekyo kiara gukorekana ime yomochio Karen ase county ya Nairobi nigo naro omurai ebwense anyarete gukwanira emeroberio serikali enene bwate gucha koeneke muna abasaya ime yense ya Kenya banyare konyora ogosirwa ase chinsemo au.
I want to ask the leadership seated here today, members, I want to persuade you. We have a robust program. We have, I think, close to 8 or 9 different programs targeting our young people and how we can meaningfully engage them in employment and other interventions that benefit the young people of our nation. I will say this. We spend close to 650 billion shillings every year in education, making sure that our young people go through primary school, ECD, primary school, junior school, secondary school, TVET, and universities. We must equally have clarity in how these 650 billion shillings we spend every year, at the end of the day, how do we recover that money by making sure that our young people become a resource for the development of our nation instead of being a problem to our nation? We must do that. And there are 6, 7 interventions that have gone through Parliament. Housing is one of them. Export of labor is another one. digital jobs, and every member of parliament here, especially of the National Assembly, you have resources to do ICT hubs. I remember discussing with Sirma there, chairman of NGCDF. I remember discussing with Kiarie, the chairman of ICT. And if there are any issues that concern, sometimes maybe we have a problem with resources, Mbadi is here, he knows that if there are resources that needs to be made available, it's for us to provide interventions for young people to get an opportunity to work. You know very well that we can create hundreds of thousands of jobs in the digital space. You are aware of what we are doing in Nyota. You are aware of what we are doing in KJet. And if you don't, we should be able to explain to you so that you become part of the people, because you speak to hundreds of thousands of people every weekend, every day, as you go about your responsibilities, how they can tap into these opportunities and create livelihoods for the young people of our country so that they too can make a contribution towards making Kenya what we all want it to be.
Mwancho murigire chinga kecheche nigo omoske William Ruto anyarite gukwanira ebunge enene na boigo ebunge eri ye Senate nekero bono akorera buna igati y'abajumbe na boigo abaseneta nigo bagosangereria amake ekikeirire ebunge bono tebwati obosibore buko imuke gosibwo gukorera korengana n'erichiko na boigo koyisariria erieta.
We need a conversation. You know, there are legitimate concerns on how resources are being spent at the counties. There is. We cannot also run away. There is legitimate concern. Let me ask, for example, the latest Sokohuru in the Senate. Because you have to accept, you know, by virtue of the position I hold today, I am a consumer of raw intelligence. I know what's going on. Where does somebody find 150 million? Where? Eh? Is that his money? That is money that belongs to the county. Is that correct or not correct? Yes. Let me ask you, members of parliament who are seated here. Do you, for example, know, do you, for example, know that a few members of your committee collected 10 million shillings so that you could pass that law on anti-money laundering? Did you get the money? So, going forward, si tunataka tukubaliane, si we are one team. Yes, there are people who are destroying the credibility of parliament. And they are collecting money in the name of parliament. And some of the time, or most of the time, that
na omukonyi obumurai bwense muske kidore kindi kindi gobono aborire gati yo okobwaterana egati yabarai gose obwamo elikone kiafuna ense ya Kenya ngogenderere bosio.
For the last 33 years, our country has revolved around majorly two political formations. And the difference in the political strength of those two major political formations has not been very big difference. We've been like that since we went into multi-party politics. So that you have a strong party winning, but even the opposition is fairly strong. What that means, therefore, is that our country, like all democracies, requires bipartisan consensus building, especially to deal with serious and heavy national issues and national challenges. We need bipartisan efforts to heavy lift the serious national issues. You've seen them in the 10-point agenda. The fight against corruption, the fight against ethnic bias, the fight against all these vices.
Wancho mulgire na asisiasa chiaye omoske Rigathi Gachagua nigo obono oyore omokonye ubwekiama ekyo gya DCP omoske Cleophas Malala anyare okurira eserikali asechinga kichiga ekero omoske Rigathi Gachagua abangete esabali yayo kwirana kurense ya Amerika gochega ase ense ya Kenya kolengana na Malala nigo bono anyare gotabona eserikali nigo egendete kugosereria gucha kumubika viara omoske Rigathi Gachagua ase keria buna nigo abiriga kubwatuka chinkwana ose amangana nari abiriga kubwatuka igoro yeserikali ya Kenya ayo atari amaine.
We confirm that indeed we will, and as a party and as the people of Kenya, we shall gather at Jomo Kenyatta International Airport starting from 8 a.m. This is to ensure that we plan ourselves adequately. We have people traveling from across the country, all the way from Tesoland, from Luoland, and therefore we want to have good organization and protocol at the airport. So we want to ask all our supporters traveling from across the country to be at Jomo Kenyatta International Airport as from 8 a.m. We are also adequately informed of the mischief and also plans by President William Ruto to have our party leader arrested upon his arrival at Jomo Kenyatta International Airport. We are also informed that William Ruto is planning to divert his plane to either Kisumu or Mombasa International Airports to arrest him from there. We have encouraged our members to also plan to receive him in those respective airports. We want to be very particular and candid on this matter.
Moncho mulgire na soroboti oro nutokora ensemo ye keunga korinde do tubuna bana basge kongera tema gote good morning Matildah kemikoro wachinse mochirichi adoa Qatar wika sobo nyama sibi agoteba pamoja pilipili hoho agoteba korati maningo bwatite buya agoteba kwani Beatrice Jepkosgei abana Abel ose Abel na boigo Shelianza Sonia na boigo Kimberly mbia mono sana amaigayo anyarire ewoika na boigo Jared Orure Matureti agoteba korwa chinse mochanya chichi secondary school Nyamira County watching live mbia mono sana and good morning. Christopher Tandi watching live from Burangi Kenyambi with my wife Lydia Kerubo hadi tamati. Have a good day. Have a good day too. Omusori bwege susu agoteba Kirandi Dennis aka omusori bwege susu korwa Nakuru City Salams Club agoteba woika gachiva seito watching live na boigo Teresa Kemunto agoteba nga good morning Matildah. He came from Karatina tuned in. Ndio mono sana Gilbert Machoka agoteba Gilbert Moze Moze Ondego korachinse mocha Transmara Lolgorian watching you mbia mono sana Gilbert Machoke ireteriga Moze timetindiri lakini si neno otevanga ere Gilbert Moze korachinse mochiria cha Transmara kwani abantu ve boda gabo kwani abantu ba Transmara timetia se nandena bugutu kwani aiga asomono libweke asike Masai na woto kwani na kibwakire asike Masai elinde tunyale gusogeria abantu oba Transmara obonse abantu ba Kuru County ya Narok na boigo mbosori bwege susawote aba pole sana kwa familia chistori megano nera igatwakorire y'abantu gusiria amagimabo anemono tubwate musahebu imyaka 15 nebere nando musa abasahe mbale basireti amagimabo asichinjira cyobututukano agotebanga pole sana kwa familia eyune ngore nene kuchia sechinka gosichia maticho chisireti abancho babo ase ebiro ebiga Natasha mcute agoteba toto la Kisii na Nsiongiri korwa kanyimbo niko ndani na Gideon Atika agoteba korwa Enchoro South Mogirango watching live mbiyamona sana ekiongo Mary agoteba korwa Nyabuya agoteba pamoja mbia mana kigima jeria keruba agoteba tuned in korwa manama Bahrain Kingdom oika inka Kisii County mbia mana sana. Good morning. Na Obaigwa Isaac Nyandieka ononga agoteba korwa doa Qatar watching live to Nyarenda Vumachoge Church. Good morning to Lena Nyatuka, Faith Magoma, Precious Kerubo, Caleb Karagacha na Flora Kwamboka na my parents agoteba Richard Ononga na Josephine Kwamboka na Pastor Christopher Makori, family from Igege na wewe agotebanga na wewe muwe na siku njema. Ati wawe na siku njema. Okay, mbia mwana sana na wewe na siku njema pia. Na Eric Osoro agoteba kora Kiumbu Ritaro bwakire buya kigima 04 baga agoteba Joshua watching live from Nyaisa Manga Kitutu Masaba constituency pamoja na Caleb Obuocha Makori Sivia Obuocha mbia mwana sana. Eli Mwache alivyo agoteba following mbia mwana sana lakini hajasema kutoka wapi. Eli Mwache alivyo following from where nsemo Kiechiga na Obaigwa editor Eli Mwache alivyo na sijajua mbona. Mbia mono kigima Edwin Omwenga agoteba kora Kisii and Nyamira present and watching live mbia mono sana kwani abantu ba chinsemecho Kisii na Obaigwa Victor Mondo mienda agoteba okay tuned in kora chisemo chirichi Kilimani tuko pamoja hadi tamati agoteba listening haki Victor Mondo mienda anda ketoro chivicha tinamanya ana unanyole ense mbora kiamuka otewangani gagendete go tune in kora chinsemo chirichi Kilimani. Isaac Omweno Muzae permanent out. Good morning from Nyavituna Vumachoge Burabu niko ndani watching live from Nairobi Kibra Show ground mbia mono sana. Na kuna kijana hapa anajitanga Emmanuel agoteba Emmanuel Omthiti agoteba kora chinsemo chirichi Timani agoteba na inche nonde meyo morobelio nimeshikilia Timani rende kwani abantu batimani mbia mona sana Omthiti agoteba ni gabo gete kigima metiereteria kwirukaneria yake lakini mbia mona sana asio kugendera kuba ime iyo morobere na boiko na bogu kwani bonsi bali omanyete na bogotake babere batato ababo abana ba mino babe your family members omurugio mwancho afe mugako abe maokoro abande bakwani ebaka makobiara aye ngogo cha wakwani gosengo chikoganeli anyare gutwara litkurigia ekirembure gendete konya kotwa gosekotonya konyira chinsemo eme iyorugongo rwagusi andake aye narali ali orobere tiboniga abantu abangi basamoire abande bachakire elirema lakini aye ulio wasera livu bado koranga mburaki asore gendera guota kigima na chinga kichiwe kachiriga sana bona roko gendera guota korenda asebonega kogenda asemo tumuko kendo chemienda no are aigase bench agotebanga nonye Manchester United ekero EPL echagete nigo bare bench ko manju murigiria to bosogos kangwira na tole tunyare kurigire nara ryale yasichi gazeti na fwe kwandira gati yali tabere to sanga sensemo yekionga kenda utigara imeyo murobere obwetwane ya Getembe Facebook na bwo YouTube nigo tare masemo ko se live.
Eduka ya obomo ya Uhuru Superstores Limited nero eduka cholide ili kubatuka chirangi cha Crown Paints eyuere company nambe yemo eyo karose chirangi meyense yiga ya Kenya. Crown Paints nigo emanyira sokoro isya ebintu biriya bikomanya seka ngo kwanira chirangi ejo boyiko chire chichi brand ao ejo chire chingi ya kirage chirangi chiga nigo chire chibirengo ao punabono mbabwate chirangi cyo gwakwa imeye nyumba isiko ye nyumba chire chikomentera nibwa amavuta yani oil na bwigo chiriya chia mache inyuranga chirangi chiga nigo chire kurwase chire chiri kuririke iriya gatigati wekari guri iriya bantabati bwigo imeya Uhuru Superstores nero eduka yuka iyo bwate emixer iyo wochoganya chirangi wikabunuraganye wochoganire erangiriga aseduke yiga ya Uhuru Superstores na bokwege namuna ekale aho watagete nigo kwayanyora bwikirano tutarire rero eriwe nyorere abamanyi Obaigwa enekenga enyumba yao use asomanyete use chire biashara nchibwa tokorelekana okuya na ayonsi nigo araikirane ekero utumikite chirangi cha Crown Paints edukenyega ya Uhuru Superstores yego toka se enyumba ya Uhuru Complex imeyumuchuri go musongo eywerangene duka ya Safaricom Mwigo ngotuka bari ase nyumba ya JM Towers eyure angene bengi ya Credit Bank asamange bakere simbwetera seti namba chabo 0111161500 Uhuru Superstores, the people's choice, guaranteed lowest prices. Karibu nyumbani.
Hazina Siri Event Services ne company ya Chirenkuma asogo kwa obokoreri ase chinse mobuna corporate event chiroadshow chinyange amatanga chianniversary na yenda mangamna wono photography videography live stream ne coverage na yende amange kurubare obokoreri ase tent ebirogo decoration lighting chikapet na sound batarere ase ekoroba ya Uhuru Towers somo chobosungu angena AM Taylor samange ba kresimia sinamba 0721217817 Hazina Siri Events. This is a surety. Obaigwa Kali Center neduka egokoneria ebitamba byokorosia echisovaset ebirogo byechisovaset begomba bwate chikapet chisanduki cy'abana bagucira eskuru na boigo echo kubekera chianga nigo babwate emeito yebirengo ao kurwa eri abana bagucira eskuru amarangeti ebitamba byokwara na kurarira babwate chichiko chiviber chokoroseria ebirogo na boigo chips chokoros chipillowcase echo ogorarira
Gagi. Omwana yo boy, diganda ndango ichibesa. Chibesa ntabwate muko, lakini naikire taracha seito, nanyorere mwa boy chiwakali. Hai, bona chibesa kwenda mpulingi go pulingi. Hemeito ya bana bakuchere sukuru. Hemeito yo konyora bana chisare. Kwa zangu ra duniani kaki horoje baka nabwate baka ebintombire bakoro kwa chiferi beti. Chikorozi ebirogo biechigari. Hai! Kaki apa kusiba sepinga imore. Kaki imore. Hai! Inchu waki mwensi tabatari. Ninchu gocha moye binto koruga mwapo ichu wakali. Hili! Omuganga James yonkoroko. Kaki.
Mbabwate chitandarua chokorosia ebirugo biechigari na boigo ebirugo bia leather. Gusechi sofa set chia leather. Gwetani abo nigo kubanyora babwate chi velvet. Echo oranyare koroseria ebirugo biao gusekende gyonsi origeti korosia. Nebintu nebyo. Mbabwate cha ase ebirengo ao manyiga nonyane chitandarua chokorosia chihema mbabwate kaiba gutuka nigo bagutuka ange ne hotel ya Kisii Hotel katikati yo musikiti odaraja mbili na Uhuru Superstores barabari na Kisii Hotel gutaka kumanya bange na kugura kende gyonsi bakere ase enamba 0720688220 Obaigwa Kali Center inkyukanyete utaragura ebintu bya okuruoro
Njempo ichwa karisto na bariga ni mwesto kole biashara sobwamo ingotoka opposite Kisii Hotel na bariga ni mwesto
Gagi genda mwapoi gagi nyasaye baba boli chwakali gagi egotoka alinsa litara chambini gagi ligere libudango kuanete omusio mubihili gagi nandiri goli kwa sarense ebintu nago lire gagi buichi wakali hili gagi hili ngogongonya musio mubihili kulite bintu muri mamba
nigo bakwigura amatukonsi kuri nderi tukuri sabato tibari kwigura
Yesterday. Kijana, hujasoma? Na kuozesha binti yangu kwa mahali ya kingamuzi cha Zuku Amazing Digital TV.
Ndiyo, nimekubali.
Mashallah.
Unaunguza kuku tena wa kienyeji?
Mume wangu, ni uhondo na utamu wa Zuku Swahili.
Hawa Zuku Digital Amazing TV. Yaani Zuku Swahili mambo ni buli buli. Ware!
Habari ya mjini ni Zuku. Furahia mautamu utamu. Unasubiri nini? Zaidi ya kujiunga na familia bora ya Zuku TV ndani ya channel namba 100 ya Zuku Swahili. Hapa utafurahia tamthilia, filamu mbalimbali na burudani nyingine kibao ndani ya Zuku TV.
Subscribe ase channel ya Getembe TV rero ili wimanye na mangana watika kira chingake ase channel ya YouTube ya Getembe TV nigo tokokora live streaming ya mangana maya chi video ne bipindi bya Getembe ao ngakiende yonse inyuranga ngwetera ase official channel ya Getembe TV. Subscribe, comment ase chi video cheto boigo share na basani amune amate ejo baigokie baimanye na wesemia tobase kweba turn on a notification bell yani ekengere ejo onyaliko bagoko yanyora chingaki abikiri ase omtandao Getembe Television Network ekinakyo ekeunga kiamamogusie. Ne noganye gukorerwa live streaming ase chipejo cha social media cha Getembe nubwate misangirikano ya gisiasha amatanga chinyangi chibirthday misangirikano yechikanisa baby shower anniversaries gose ekinyuro kinyomo inyangi usuko kwa kuyomino emijega ao bunabono housewarming parties engagement parties egatie binde bige bono Getembe Television Network nero ego kwayega asiri golidio gotukutera ninchwe omurikirwe ye masege munaba manyibita bobale nobo manyibiguro igeti byetibwate signal ere enkongo igwikira abantu bange asubunge asamange onye kuganiti omurikirwe nabukulika jumbenge wego gwitira semeria WhatsApp wosigu ya Kisii gwitira namba 0741499726. Gusie bono na bukwegokia asogo sonja etibi ya wanje tia Getembe Television Network wetera Zuku Satellite channel number 038 egoki nimrulu ao ya Getembe Television Network ayene amatiao kuli mienzi ya Kenya, ilia Tanzania, Uganda, Malawi, Wikanonya Zambia egulere edekoda ya Zuku chinga kichiga chemereka je Christmas amonogo chingira kumwako muya idiwego kinemrulu yetu ao inyoranga nigo okonyora a channel ya Getembe wetera ase Zuku Satellite channel number 038 Getembe Television Network ekeunga kiamamogusi. Superstores nero eduka asorgo ngurigarua South Nyanza yanchiri amone company ya mabati Rolling Mills eluko ya buatuka uchiase abaonia aiga ntobwate showroom asura achagwirigirie amabati anda unsialia utagete showroom yeto nigo engale eyuerengia na boigo ekogokie riso yao chingaki ogoswasa yiga kurigiriria amabati aiga ntobwate team Tembo abo bagokora imirimo ase showroom yiga babwate chingoro chingia chugo kwarigania na boigo cho tebererie kende gensi uraganie bagotebererie company ya mabati Rolling Mills iko babwate amabati chingenjo ao ayuare ye chikala ao na boigo ayuiga bwate chi pro profile net gauges au unabono mbabwata normal corrugated na boigo box corrugated asiboigo babwata boomerang ayuali ayechigage emeronge tato asama bati alia ayechigage emeronge bere na isaro na isato mbabwata tile profiles alia au oriental elegantal versatile gross na boigo na versatile mat MRM ni kubabwate lifestyle ayuago chana Roman Jinko na boigo web design mabwate ligani kabwate chikala bunabone lia Chaco Grey, Brick Red, Tile Red, Maroon, Sky Blue na boigo na Green obutambe bwe mabwate liga niko bokolengana amo nukonyagwe customer mbabwate bintu bindi boigo ebyo ochkunyara kabo gutumika chinga gicho gwakiranya mabwate liga ase nyumba yao tutari rero ase Ouru MRM showroom onyare kabo gukwerera amabwate yu akomenya segeka ayo guchane warrant na boigo ayo urakoberwa ikasure asubwango edukenyega ya Ouru Superstores igiye gutoka se nyumba ya Ouru Complex imiyumuchuligo busongo iyo erangene duka ya Safaricom boigo ngotuka bari ase nyumba ya JM Towers iyo ere angene bengi ya Credit Bank asamange bakere simgwetera se namba chabo 0111161500 Ouru Superstores, the people's choice, guaranteed lowest prices. Karibu nyumbani.
Ndagira njana sabuna iyero sirine Riziki Caterers. Riziki Caterers ngorobare obukoreri ubuya asichinse mubuna outside catering. Asimeyega buna chinyangi chunze, chi birthday, housewarming, chi anniversary, chi get together, amatanga, corporate events. Kokorabare nankoena nabare obukoreri asichinse muboyego buna decorations, chi ebirogo, chimesa, chikeke, nabo igon kuru barobo koreri bwa public address system. Diubago to kambarabari ne skuru yuboroso ya jogo. Samange bakresi miase namba 0797119986. Riziki Caterers. Ubuansu Windagera.
Mama Rosa.
Jirani.
Mama Rosa, nimefika hapa kwako.
Karibu sana jirani yangu.
Naendeleaje?
Tuko salama.
Mbona mzee analala chini hapa na analia?
Mzee analia, mzee ni mgonjwa. Mzee amekaa nashughulikia yeye, nimempeleka hospitali, hata sasa anashinda ugonjwa wake, nimpeleke wapi sasa?
Sasa shida ya mzee ni gani? Huyu mzee hajazeeka. Shida yake ni gani unamwacha hivi?
Mzee wangu mara ni mgongo, mara ni kifua. Ukikuja mara magoti, mara miguu, hata kuinua hivi juu huwezi inua. Sasa nimeshindwa nifanye nini jirani?
Wewe usikii hata redio ikitangaza juu ya hospitali inaitwa Nuga Best.
Nekene inyagitari ya Nuga Best nero yuka ewate okubwa uwokurubu wenya wetere chimashini chekerero kuruwa sinseri ya South Korea. Nuga Best niko babire bako wenya amaruire au ayuagendere ko bagagucanda mwanya bantu unabono uburire buri bwa mauga yani arthritis uburire bwo mugongo watya ulcers amaruire yenda onsi egati amaruire ne niko bako batukubu wenya buiga bagutumeka chimashini chekerero niko bagutuka imeyo mu cyubusungo asamagacho Ouru Towers rirongo rya kabere eyirangene nebengi ya Kenya Women batari rero Nuga Best gotanga mbuya kubwa kugwenia
ngora mugaka ke na kigwito mugaka
okorratindi bobe
obo mano ne kero kwacha ono gotarangwa konyaro tano no goikaransa ngwaro konyaro goikaransa mugaka aiga ni gore senya getari ya Nuga Best
na ndengi mwacha kwa nkori nyagitari kaki uruti na itana ni gutinya gitari kumanyinga na mente kaki abana bane uchizindani ntungiro gutungu ni gombali rukubarwa kaki nimbe
ayo mugaka nagitari itu nduri ko rusimanyinga nduri ko kobara nduri ko kobekera macho mugaka etu ko bwene ko etera samari ko itana no Diamond meni ambuno ikaranse kana mari ko ikaranserete amaryo kana rawo konya go swa senjera yo mubere erinda go konye ko bwene mugaka na bono tukware ko nyara ko tarama ko rayali ndialete amaryo kana rago so mugaka ago konyo mugaka ko konyorosa mikiyera mbuke kabisa no mugongo mugaka ira ni kubuya igesi ndu esenyagitari itu yanuga pesti nduri ko bara nduri ko rusimanyinga nduri ko bekera macho ndo se mugaka etu ko bwene ko etera senjera yekerero aso gutumeka chimashini chito chiekerero chanuga pesti mugaka
Buya mole.
안녕하세요. 에게나 야사이 tumia nuga best. Ebinto binde byonsi tiga. Na nyasaye we kada kurai. Omenye na endo bwe buya. No gosale no gwato mu berogo. Were. Tena kaiga wa yule bwana tena we. Kera ni dinyo ndo na ndo tuwe clinic. Kyo mugaka ne kyo mongena. Na bahira tena we. Kurumba golera machine ye mati. Nanya ko bahira clinic. Ya arthritis. Igongo bahira tuwa clinic riyo korana manyinga bara manyinga buyare ndo buyebe mwaka na wabo cyo chaga orani uyana. Agota bwe.
Nuga best inchu naye bwenekerie obubwenia bwekene. Hazan Mega Wholesalers asentundende nande nigo yirenire buya nande biyemono asentundiye nigo egokonelia ebinto aserigori elianse kegema asetauni ga yabosongo koni bare ebinto asensemo ya electronics electricals chibirika chibasi chiestima chiufa chi TV tabletop cookers chi microwave chi dispenser chi blender chi radio chi chararani chi blow dry chi socket chi cable chi bulb chi bulb holder chi heater ne binde ebinge phone accessories na chi charger chi USB cables earphones wireless ports ne chi sime asensemo ya household nkoni bari chi sane chi thermos ebikombe ebirogo chi basin ne binde ebinge asensemo ya cosmetics koni bari chi body lotion chi spray chi air food makeup kits chi sabuni ne binde ebinge koni bare chi soda ne chi juice asensemo elia hardware koni bare chi power saw chi generator chi piano ne chi amplifier chi mixer public address systems chi nyange chi solar panel na boigo asensemeli ya stationary koni bare chi geometrical set irangi jebikoroto chi kram chi calculator chi rubber ne chi toy semoyende nkoni bali tissue papers chi serviette chi dapa chi sanitary towels ne chi toothpaste karutari kwiba chi toothbrush boigo nkoni bali chi fridge ajirira unyare kwegurira ebintu biga aserigoririanse Hazan Wholesalers nigo egokora free delivery osinige okoratira ebintu gurite asosao wika asure asorgongorwansi rwa Nyanza nige gotoka ase enyumba ya Getembe building ange na smart lady aigasi roundabout ya Bosongo asa mange kwana na director o Hazan Wholesalers ase ogokeirigori na mabori ande amange oratware sin number 0722 237187.
ine kwabaire gukorera asenga kintambe guse nigo kwarwalire na gusalia endibo enyinge aha buno tokwa omoyo inyagitari ya World Fit Health Centers neroli chibuliao nyuranga nonyorobu wenia bwa maruire amange abuna amaruire yesukali amaruire yenda amaruire yomogongo na yande amange.
We call your prostate eno borwere bwa sungwira bagakenga abagaka sana bwe sukari what you call the genesis of diabetes na kiborwere bwe sukari bogo somo bero goime hypertension no borwere kera manyinga kogenda igure somo bero Walfit itosomete chinjire isato cyukorwa ya marwaire enjire ntangani itosomete ingendu nga conventional medicine yani ubonyagitari obwa kawaida itosomete ingendu nga nutritional medicine na marioga yakurwese endagera yaito ya kawaida. Kwa mfano we have ntupiko nga amino acids, ntubwate fatty acids, ntubwate vitamins na kadhalika. Bigo tumeka esoko rwari ya marwaire. Nchirende yagata tosomerete neka tukutumia international herbal medicine. Tukutumia mariogo akurwese mete twarwari ya marwaire. Igao muchito bosongo monene ntobwate clinic yeito ase nyumba ya Uhuru Plaza noerega iga marikiti gaiso wako ninyama kwali na iguru wacho wake goroba ya gatatu erumu 307A ntobwate branch mu Eldoret ase nyumba ya Kogo Plaza first floor room 2.
Walfit Health Centers umusani ogo asamarwaire minyoka.
Eduka ya obomo ya Uhuru Superstores Limited nero eduka cholide ili kubwatuka chirangi cha Crown Paints eyure company nambe yemo iyo korose chirangi meyense yiga ya Kenya. Crown Paints nigo emanyira sokoro isya ebintu biliya bikomanya seka ngo kwanira chirangi echo boyiko chire chichi brand ao echo chire chingi ya kirage chirangi chiga nigo chire chibirengo ao punabondo mbabwata chirangi cyo gwakwa imeye nyumba iziko ye nyumba chire chikomentera nibwa amavuta yani oil na bwigo chiriya chia mache inyoranga chirangi chiga nigo chire korwase chire cheri guririke iriya gatigati wekari guri iriya bantabati bwigo imeya Uhuru Superstores nero eduka yuka iyo bwate emixer iyo gwochoganya chirangi wikabunuraganye gwochoganire erangiyiga aseduke yiga ya Uhuru Superstores na bwokwege namuna ekale aho watagete nigo kwayanyora bwikirano tutarire rero elibwe nyorere abamanyi nabwigo enekenga enyumba yao use asomanyete use chire chibiasara nchibwa tokorelekana okuya na ayonsi nigo araikirane ekero utumikite chirangi cha Crown Paints eduke yiga ya Uhuru Superstores yego tokase enyumba ya Uhuru Complex imeyumucho yigo musongo eyuerangene eduka ya Safaricom mwigo ngotuka bari ase nyumba ya JM Towers eyuere angene bengi ya Credit Bank asamange bakere simgwetera ase chinamba chabo 0111161500. Uhuru Superstores, the people's choice, guaranteed lowest prices. Karibu nyumbani.
Hazina Siri Event Services ne company ya Chirenkuma asogo kwa obokoreri ase chinse mobuna corporate event chiroadshow chinyange amatanga anniversary na yenda mangam na wono photography videography live stream na coverage na yende amange kurubare obokoreri ase chi tent ebirogo decoration lighting chi carpet na sound batarere ase koroba ya Uhuru Towers somo chobosungu angena AM Taylor samange ba kresimia number 0721217817 Hazina Siri Events. This is a surety. Boy Juakali Center neduka egokoneria ebitamba byokorosia chisovaset ebirogo bye chisovaset begomba bwate chikapet chisanduki chamanna baguchira eskuru na boygo echokubekera chianga nigo babwate emeito yebirengo akurwa elia manna baguchira eskuru amarangeti ebitamba byokwara na kurarira babwate chichiko chiviber chokoroseria ebirogo na boygo chips chokoros chipillowcase echo ogorarira
Gaki. Omwana yo boy, tikanda ndango ichibesa. Chibesa ntabu atemuko, lakini naikire taraja seito, nanyorire mwapo ichi wakali. Hai, wano chibesa kwenda mpulingi ko pulingi. Hemeito ya bana bakuchere sukuru. Hemeito yo konyora bana chisare. Kwa razangu ra duniani. Kaki, horoje baka nabwate baka ebinto mbire bakoro kwa chiferi beti. Chikorozi, ebiroko. Diechikali. Hai! Kaki apa kusiba sepinga imore. Kaki imore. Hai! Inchu waki mwezi tabatari. Ninchu hoja moye binto kuruga mwapo ichi wakali. Hili, omuganga James yokoroko. Kaki.
Mbabwate chitandarua chokorosia ebirugo bya Kigali na boigo ebirugo bya leather gusechi sofa set cha leather gwetani abo nigo kubanyora babwate chi velvet echo oranyare koroseria ebirugo byao gusekende gyonsi origeti korosia nebintu nebyo mbabwate cha ase ebirengo ao manyiga nonyane chitandarua chokorosia chihema mbabwate kaibagotoka nigo bagotoka ange ne hotel ya Kisii Hotel katikati yo musikiti odaraja mbili na Oru Superstores barabari na Kisii Hotel gutaka kumanya bange na kugura kende gyonsi bakire ase enamba 0720688220 Obaigwa Kali Center inkyukanyete utaragura ebintu bya okuruoro
Njempo ichi wakaristo na bariga ni mwesto kole biashara sababu amo ingotoka opposite Kisii Hotel na bariga ni mwesi
Gaki. Genda mwapoi gaki nyasaye baba boli chiwakali. Gaki. Egotoka alinsa alitara chambiri. Gaki, ligere libudango kuwanete. Omusio mubihili. Gaki, nandiri goli kwa sarense. Ebinto nago lirega gaki. Bui chiwakali. Hai! Hili. Gaki. Hili. Hai, ngokongkonya. Musio mubihili. Kuri tibintu mlimamba.
Nigo bakwigura amatukonsi kuri nderi tukuri sabato tibari kwigura.
Kila nafsi na ita.
Twarariye okwa ku mwaka John Dominic Gichana, Yuro Murugi Onyagosira Salim Nyabuke Gichana. Ngarise Elias Mayaka, Celestine Davidson, Lillian Kombuka, Veronica Ikonge, Pascal Maina, Honorable Don Bosco Oga na Muraha Gichana. Ngaro mwana Onyagusira Edward Oroni n'umuhina Alexina Kombuka. Yarimo murumu abo Helen Muraha, Mary Kirbo, Anakemma, Cleophas Gisemba Oroni, Rachel Mukira na Jennifer Nyamoita na Boigolinet. Ngari Seviara, Joanita Geita, Johan Davidson, Kisinja Kimonge, Evans Mugaka, Morio Tendwa, Faith Ash Duale, no Mheshimiwa Oscar Sude. Nsokoro ya Marcus, Tess, Davidson, Malik, Olga, Charlotte, Valentine, Michael, Saul, Leo, Kipchilchir, Eugene, Tess, Kissinger, Rachel, Boss, Juanita, Chris, Nebacheba. Ngari Mokoyoye, Nyagusira Benjamin, Makori, Openda, Nyagusira Crescential, Nyabonyi, Gichana, Nyagusira Jane Oigo, Michael Omayo, Openda, Pauline Aberi, Elizabeth Ongombe, Advocate Frederick Ondigo, na John Keen Gichana. Ngari simu ya Nyagusira Lawrence Gichana, Nyagusira Zachary Oigo, Nyagusira Joseph Aberi na Daniel Ongombe. Ngari kora ya Benjamin Suta, Salina Murkomen, Kipiatich Francis, Nyagusira Gladys Tendwa, Rachel Kimonge, Nyagusira Berit Von Davidson, Nevego Salik Davidson, Nyagusira Mugaka Singombe, Nyagusira Batsheba Mara. Wabiri noru sigwe enkendia Eldoret, tariki maronge bine mumutinyu gatanu gatatumwa kuiga, nekaro rakorerwe emisa Kisii Cathedral, wabo ogendenka asi merobelio komwenya erakorkane Maran Stadium, tariki maronge bine mutinyu gatanu gatatumwa kuiga, alia rikenye enkayaye no ara anyway. Getembe Television na Getembe FM torengore ito.
Kila nafsi na ita
Tarali ogo kwa Caleb gichana oyiro mwana nyagusira gichana oigoro no mungina nyagusira Priscilla kwambuka osiri banyambare village Magombo Emiye County Nyamira. Yaro mwaka nyagusira Josephine Kimanga ni garise nyagusira Catherine Mukwa Kevin Mwenga Advocate Masi Caleb na Job gichana. Yaro mumuro mwabo Bilha Rina Alice Musomi, Teresa Machuara, Esther Nyabuti, Walter Nyang'au, Paul Otuoma, Alfred Ogeto, Nelson Onsongo, Bernard Gichana, Kennedy Gichana, Ongosi Gichana, Charles Onsongo, Peter Onsongo, Asinath Ombori, Folex Ombori, Nyagusira Suzanne Onguzo, Nyagusira David Obwaya, Nyagusira Mose, Nyagusira Nyarosa. Kava maraba mwabo Ngamona, Nora Matoke, Anna Nyakwama, Esther Moiruri, Helen Kibagendi na Nancy Nyaseti. Ngareba mwabo gichana Ondieki Obwaya, Ondieki, Rebecca Nyaera, Mameka Kimma, David, Kevin Ombori Kisii TV, Josephine Ombori, Omesa, Grace, Mobisa, Joyce, Nyagusira, Advocate Joel, Tabitha, Ayoka, Mweberi, Ayoka, Elijah, George, Happiness, Pastor Jared, Ayoka, Lynette, Samuel, Henry, Molka, Joel, Elijah, Gatia Bandabange. Yare moigwa uchiase nyagusiro gise, nyagusiro mwebeli, arenchi, enya, nyagusiro gichana, mukaya, nyagusiro onsongo, nyagusiro mboli gichana, onyagasenda, Daniel, Pima, Hazaro, Miriam, nyagusiro keganda, nyagusiro mocheche, nyagusiro nyangia, Susan, Jennifer, Onsongo, Priscilla, Jemima, Teresa, Jane, Abilia. Ngare mwana nyagusira Samuel Kimanga no mungina Miriam Kimanga baibelo Eribari Chache. Ngare Samuel Lilian, Cyrus, Jonathan, Elijah, Gichana, Ogeto, Beatrice, Henry, Esther, Makuri, Ben, Nikerario, George, Mirieri, Ruth, Henry, Caro, Agoti, Mora, Gichana, Nico, Kerubo, Ruth, Job, Gatia Bandabange. Yarmoko Yonguso, Thomas, Achuara, Nyabuti, Nyang'au, Zablon, John, Cyrus, Shadrach, Daniel, Yunuke, Paris, Pombuka, Susan, Teresa, Anagatia Bande. Yaresemia Jackson, Obwogo, Abel, James, Yosra Paul, Mobisa, Evans Gatia Bandabange. Muchango na wetukulia Jumatano tariki 20 mutinyu gatano gatatu mwaka yega ali Bosongo Kisii Town Obaigwa asinka yabo Nyambarege Village. Mubere no rusigwe nkende tukulia Alhamisi tariki 24 mu mutinyu gatano gatatu ari Chiron Hospital Mochari. Rara ni wetukulia Jumatano tariki 22 mutinyu gatano gatatu mwaka yega Nyambarege Village. Nyambari sublocation Magombo Ward Kitutu Masaba Ase County Nyamira. Getembe Television na Getembe FM Torrengrito.
Yesterday. Kijana, hujasoma? Na kuozesha binti yangu kwa mahali ya kingamuzi cha Zuku Amazing Digital TV.
Ndiyo, nimekubali.
Mashallah.
Kiwangu, unaunguza kuku tena wa kienyeji?
Mume wangu, ni uhondo na utamu wa Zuku Swahili.
Hawa Zuku Digital Amazing TV. Yani Zuku Swahili mambo ni buli buli. Ware.
Habari ya mjini ni Zuku. Furahia mautamu utamu. Unasubiri nini? Zaidi ya kujiunga na familia bora ya Zuku TV ndani ya channel namba 100 ya Zuku Swahili. Hapa utafurahia tamthilia, filamu mbalimbali na burudani nyingine kibao ndani ya Zuku TV.
Sha Ceramics netuka eyekona ebintu by'obwagaji au asilikolire nkonya bali mirror and cabinets ase babwate aluminium and accessories mbabwate mirango y'echingenjo au mbabwate chitangi au na bwego kurose chikampani au locks and accessories babwate chichogo se toilets echichire chechingenjo au na bwego n'ebintu bikutumika se e bathroom babwate kitchen sinks na bwego ne tap babwate bintu bikukora plumbing au babwate marbles and granites nkona bale MDF boards kona bale deformed bath chichingenjo au babwate bathtubs babwate tiles echichire chichingenjo au konya bale boigo ebintu bunabono wall to wall carpets nkona bale boigo chirangi korwase chikampani au asibabwate chimashine echo chiko chiburukania babwate biro byechingenjo au babwate gypsum pots chisimiti amabati egati ebintu binde binge ebyo bakona selikolire niko bakutuka ase nyombere manyakantabu na Cansons Plaza ase bara ya Kisii Kisumu imbe muchuyiga obusungu asamange naboko bakiresi bigwetera se chinamba cyabo 0703943972. Subscribe ase channel ya Getembe TV rero ili wimanyibu na mangana watika kira chingake ase channel ya YouTube ya Getembe TV nigo toko kora live streaming ya mangana maya chi video ne bipindi bya Getembe au ngakiende yonse inyuranga ngwetera ase official channel ya Getembe TV. Subscribe, comment ase chi video chito boigo share n'abasani amune amate elyo baigokie bemanye nawe semya tubase kwiba turn on a notification bell yani ekengere elyo onyali kubagoko yanyora chingaki abikiri ase omtandao Getembe Television Network ekenakyo ekeunga kyamamogusie. Ne noganye kukolerwa live streaming ase chipejo cha social media cha Getembe nubwate imisangirikano ya gisiasha amatanga chinyangi chibirthday misangirikano yechikanisa baby shower anniversaries gose ekinyoro kinyomo inyangi usuko kwa kuyomino imijiga au bunabono housewarming parties engagement parties egatie binde bige bono Getembe Television Network nero ego kwayega asirigolidio gotukutera ninchwe omurikirwe ye maseje munaba manyibaitabo bare no bamanyibiguro nigetibye tibwate signal ere enkongo yigwikira abantu bange asubunge asamange onye kuganitie omurikirwe nabukulika jumbenge wigwitira semeria WhatsApp usiku ya Kisii migwitira namba 0741499726.
Etwani yabugire ayo mworo karugetanda Etwani yabugire ayo mworo karugetanda bana mbare njara ayo mworo karugetanda bana mbare njara uzito somya bamura baje kuya mandege uzito somya bamura baje kuya mandege.
Sana ndio mwancho muriga Getembe TV nekiro togendete no murobiriga bwetwani ya Getembe aseri tukeriga ria Jumanne rituko tokorigeria amangana ayechisemi ekiro aiga asemeza no torenere bwakire. Okay, amalieta Erika Buga mienda Sam karibu sana. Kairete nga embeo ye muhegwete embeo na bere bebe na yende peko sana embora. Lakini lero tetweti. Ose yato.
lakini ndio yesterday actually prior to the sun.
Amasisenia.
Amasisenia lakini ndio maite detail mo kwanza kwa lazima para nchini. Mbele.
Naenda sigete. Kwenda duke nimbole usi. Naenda sigete. Andere chaya vete nyingi tanga chokera na gocha. Mukendo mo. Wata bana bakabonega keep them warm. Kinde bone na wale sizo nyere. Like esta dembole ya tete nyingi mono. Usiana maka mbele kutusio wabe bogo chaka nga. Chia banchi ya gachiruya na uchiragu. Manchingora abantu abalevi. Parangu salika chire. Kenda wasutikira Nyasaye.
On the same note by the Matildah.
Yes.
Mana roto itang na sita ya March. March 8th. Tomorrow chego shiko ya March. But unfortunately ya March
kama korobana.
Kama korobani from the whole of that Thursday. Pakana kwa na igweteri tukure igoro achite kutoka on Sunday. Sikutoka on Sunday.
Nande kirtu kwa ndabana ndienda. I think na kurigire koronsense moyo kyonga. Bona basaye no kuro na ndoro bochi ndoro ringe kuro akemera umwana wa school. Mwana miaka 15 nevire. Nere ngani gagotoka para gaitire. Kusika kwetika siriti ubugama bwae. Kore ndire niko bagotanga tabwati changa chonse. Tabwati changa chonse. Ona ko kumenga andake ruse yiga ingikegenda tukubwatira ni abana kabarasumuti.
No, the issue of abantu konyora kana chi para kando baitire is not a big issue. Sababu kiabeiro bono egento keronkelinga igaro mwana moko 17 years you wonder 17 years ngaki konyarekana muntu buno yotoka actually yarenge bosa from the reports nga igarenge bosa on the same note naro nero itetu chiari zitamabuko by the no yarenge news agaitwa agaikunya gitari agachagasire agasiri obugima bwaye borobodro ngiro gabiri so ebikoro bunebiga for the last this year from I think January we have experienced the issues abantu we to see by the way under some abnormal circumstances but as a 17-year-old ono mwanafunzi maite and you wonder nga umwanafunzi yo nkikiare konyarikana mpaka itwe na ande igare ngomumura you see amata twari kumajiko banga gusari kuma ariko bo mwiseke you will be thinking labda is it the issues of after labda defiling akamanya goitwa egento buneki but umwana omumura and then it becomes hard to believe nga nkikiare ngobo mochando wekero ubukwae but all in all land as a family ya Nyagusira I send my personal condolences ochia sebale aba ibori bono genga ki rusege ndreta koba komo munyatangine chindoje the way the minister naro cheru kwa gataba abantu bari bamenye tangine chindoje bone mbura kolengana nabali experts berire batebrenge mbura nebo igo korange na roche make sure nga at least no receive and especially kunya gutoma abana roche ngabande koleta match kuse bande no gotenya unabona mburere nyingi you have to avoid that to avoid even to nebiga to kunya kunga gusaba abantu basiri yebwema kwetera soko boli una match
yes buga aboro kyo no balisco
mondo mede town ni ma setup so bene obi me akim ngai kana gusiri so go gusiri moyo you will never understand the challenges and power reserve no once you okomero mugero mwana omoke it tells you a lot in most cases you don't hear stories chema na kwa defile it town ni so na within city town ni kana konya mwana kwa defile but you can reserve maybe what happen it is so weird that you worry must it happen so mwana bino yotoka tparaga kwete telling an story na yaba na chi after ambao ni chiku sabari nini is that an incident happened because it's a criminal offense ya kia kole kanete atirende story ya GBV chebe jinga monogusi so no mongo montanda pick you man in class 5 or class 6 you defile the child and no madam paramus chianga so what's the answer to mus chianga people will tell you maybe neke ndiro mungaje tawa kwalra chianga
kwanza mwana yo mumura miaka 17 umeto no mumura
like there's nothing you just find such a criminal offense in tracking as we say no maringa using that kori set our factor settings here family value and cultural practices kinga Getembe mpaka chigacha ko ikirenga kibono gacha bere chimbe no family setup starts from yoko nyoma Taringa ingasingenje umuntu omromino somuse komino umabanza koma respect. That's from the point to konyo manga ki krasa manyo miro musbati. Some nabate sister yanyash konyo mbot. Could you want something happen to your child? Usamuka usumomino. Kilikiabe montorion. So it's not could be in those could get by the end tell people ngakora murder scene. What you are told at the scene could be different from what have happened. Okay, and so maybe in you might find one and go Mrabeka solve. Maybe around the night there's going to the properties. Property at Tayo. When we 50 by 100, Mrabatato. So engage going held. So it's such a Tamaketa and that firing a Takala Tiga, which is not in the cake. But Vadanga Maninga Manyabantka when you do, I had to go to your time. That's what I want to Montawi to Montamari, Mamma, where to go to the police station. But then some murder cases in Kisii are necessary. They can be resolved at family level, they can be resolved at the community level. Until we get to no montong and through sending a clinic. But this is why Avan sent you to has been there for all this time, 20 years. Actually, it's getting Tambe, which no one be at home for 3 weeks.
The weekend and go to
school. I told I was only at December, home school November 15. Moika January, Moi, Osakibaki extend, other 15 again. So you'll be at home for 2 weeks, 2 months, almost 2.5 months. And then to give them India Kabir. Near the Tunas to file chia cool. And the Barba file Luna, Havana, Barbas Bakino, and Taban, or what's our conscience.
Na mienda ekiro kwaringe go join kwara gosoa campus gosoa college anda kefi ya unga kiarenge.
I think I think by the time go kora mpaka chiweza chia first semester I found out that I can do 89,000.
89.
Your admission mpaka the first the first year, not the first semester, year. The first year actually. Yeah, semester. Unga kuru admission and everything mpaka mwako yomugima I had spent around 89,000. One time I think we get admission 50 you go 89 minus 53 which go around 30 something. But that admission at almost between 25 to
36.
Yeah, 36. You have 25 to 36 by day. In between.
Nekirano singa asinga kiyega chi university chinyingi abaiboli mpaka na ire cash echa achibesomo iboli abwana tukakana boni gomoro kiwa ya manyagosa eskuru ngo ikachire paka chiri bwa 50 timetinga andake abaiboli abange I think umuchanda bono obabwate no linga kiyekiro muraibu insavere kagotebanga boniga masomo yechi university niga ochikoba cheap. I think abaiboli batwalete expectations chire igoro muno nga serikali ya KDF ye university bona kero mo iboli yakogenda bona sababu na chiri bwe ka 50. I think barochinga lengana yugo kumya buga andake no mosoete no mbusa yare
abuga could have used 10,000.
I was in first years, but I remember 3% was around 50,000 per semester. By that time, I think you guys came in. I think I don't know this part. I'm going to lose the school in first year cake. But I remember that it was 50,000 because accommodation and 16,000 per semester was around 70,000 per semester. But then they helped me in Coral. Really having a more automatic. We were applying all in the cake. That's one of the rights I created first funding model. Because the banks out of Bangai, Savage, take a which was a bumper patching back. But you see now, there's one thing about Kenya. There was a public pronouncement here, President in FEK University, for me, in terms of education in FEK. But you see, you cannot announce FEK on Monday. The following Tuesday, university issue, a fee structure. It's a process. You have to recall, you have to actually the university gazette. On Friday, we have an emergency meeting here, Senate and Council to review Mushari. And you can fee structure. No, you cannot wake up in the morning and think about Kisii University about a fee 100,000 for College of Arts and Communication. To get Pungoza back at 50. Nabono Mondo marks the difference inside. These guys have to sit. Actually, back on the territory can answer for a whole week. Or discuss how we will if you structure it. So the accountants come, show the finance manager, to affect it. tuzopunguza mpaka aiga, we must declare some stuff redundant. Again, once I've seen people complaining about, it's easier to declare a new fee structure first year about university for continuing students.
Yes.
Because continuing students already, they're in a budget. Already they are starting a semester of the financial year. They have to pay a fee when they work on a semester. So the next semester, okay. Or alternatively, I work on a fee again, right? The ones who are coming in for first years, are going to take a fee now. It's like a system. You can't change the system in between. Only a key, Monto Gabolete, or Kaisra, we will now have a university, the truth about these programs. Because I don't want to force a compliment to on session, try one new fee structure.
Yes.
So, how are you going to get the new fee structure or create on session? This thing affects first year's work.
And again, when if you punguzo maite, I think it is the government that takes care of the the capitation. The government went to work na, they went to take responsibility, which is a university. A university na beta change. But now the capitation, which is a university, ya achieve such it in casa, ya take care of chiribate bangangu punguza bale. But all in all, rende much as we had the manifesto Kenya Kwanza bako tabanga chi school fee when the college never affordable to anyone or teta kogende school. You see, it's a process like what Abuga said. It is not something about no kopo kamambi. Then you have if you punguzu, then in the next Friday, maybe Thursday, Friday, on your punguzu. It shows a process, and they have to look at things. Chiba say chiba could lose in this point. Only sharing 50,000. Go punguza war paka was 30, 20 chinga ichiko chakuru. Because in Chimenta Kobo, it is budgeted, and already in Chiro, na chichiko konya at least incurring, cost as a university. So, gaiba go chukuru chiba say chiga. Yeah. So it's a process. Tarigen tokobo kamambi, otebenga tigake.
Serikali yatangasire fee yake.
Matildah.
Yes.
Public pronouncements in Chingia sana someone as a voter. When the Kenya is in a country where politics comes first.
Before anything.
So President they make a statement, they will pack fees. People look at it as a political statement. Now those in the education sector, what is the impact here currently? Now, assuming like University X, what am I doing, let's say 200 billion. Or say 1 billion, and I'm doing what? Kero mwaka ngo chaka they protected ndo wata wanafunzi 20,000. Kero wanafunzi akanichiwa STI. So this money tusikuru maybe a third to akana madeni. Osa kwa to akana madeni. Half to akana kwende staff umushahara. Now I have to kuna chombo chiwa STI in between a financial year. How do you cope with these incidents? I'm looking at the figure here. Like now wanafunzi wakalete last year for KCSE. We were supposed to have 107,000 students during university. Out of it, 170,000 from the Ministry of Secondary Education is actually about 136, 34. Qualified Kanyana. Help. So where are the remaining? Around 35,000. Almost 30,000 years. Maybe a Bambali who come from well-off families. But you change university. So 136 are still, the government is still struggling. Where can I help? Then ask myself, the government is busy cutting costs in terms of if it's work on all those things in. But do they look at the quality of services offered, which is for it means reduce fees, reduce the number of academic staff in a university. If you add lecture some 2 classes, try to comment another 2 classes. And that's the danger with the kind of, if you want to give services but there's no funding for those services. Now, people back on yes, it's okay. In the university level, they will affect more in terms of service because in the work is academic work. Maybe coursework, that's on the class. But in schools where you have on a daily basis, breakfast, chai sign, lunch, sakum, bandage trip, it's quite a work and time, so it's a costly thing, yes. But come on, they can say, well, yes, we are losing this cost you work and fees. But what in terms of output?
Service,
yes. So at one point, the demand for some services started. Because that when it was last year, the government was saying from the Ministry of Education that almost half of the universities are becoming insolvent. So are you saying that in the last 1 year, If you remember what happened at Kisii University, like there are some 300 staff redundant.
And Technical University of Kenya.
Yes,
Moi University.
Moi is struggling. So they're supposed to raise this money to improve their services, but again, the government's cutting down the fees. So, okay, they are being told back on research, back on income generating activity in the university. But you see, for you to put up a dairy farming, like now in Kisii University, you need a piece of land. You need to employ more staff. You need money to procure It's also a process.
So for a statement,
yes.
it is easy to say, but implementation, how many things the government but the policy, on reality, so and we are in a country that they haven't to another together. You see, that's what people want to hear, by the way. School fees in university. I can tell you, by the way, the way is not what is the big elephant now. The whole process is where the problem is. That's what but all of us, but how does it come? Every day, let me tell you, these universities, by the way, you can tell, and I'm sure, but last year, if you compare maybe with the number we are having back when the university, how can you say we have a population nyingi ya achira school, and then school fees? Then how? You see the practical of it, how does it happen? And when you want to reduce the school fees, it means especially the supporting staff. So it is good to hear, and we have been like Kenya, we are good in kutegeraba na siasa. Hii itafanyika, but the implementation is what is the problem.
For me, sometimes I feel like okay, as much as this program is struggling, at the end, as I was told someone yesterday in the evening, one of the media houses, Kuru Marani, who was part to get our complaining, but I think about you work and feel about you work and in. You must part from the look of things, and one area and Tabatak. I
think
yes. Because I'm seeing the Minister of Education is saying that the Bango Manafunzi will consider a stinker piece 5,800.
Yes.
The highest is 75,000. So the highest could be sciences, maybe medicine, surgery, and law students, engineering. They want to pay the highest 75,000. But the lowest would be 5,814. I can assure you they are the majority. 5,000 you have Once a band they are accepting you in band 1. The money period. But now the funny thing, the pocket money is equal across the board. Band 1, 2, 3, 5, you even equal pocket money. But I'm sure, okay, at least for the time being, they have an advantage. The same way, they are divided in the SHA program. So it's as upon the parents now to ensure that someone from Form 1 to Form 4. Or make sure you are saving something small, what you work on top of CBC. To opening billions of companies. You know, there's a guest talk from not Mugrango. You Mwanafunzi get to Rengali. She has been out from 2023. According to the case, they said I think 2023. Remember, I won the University of Education Arts, I think, it was English. Wakavon, then I was in school. You see, now the danger with that program is this: once you have done your Form 4, you get the system automatically. So I was going to admission at the university. And what happens? You have grade for 2 years, early school. Definitely, for the time we got 4th year, or the 2nd year, the system will eliminate you automatically from payment. So for 3rd year and the 4th year, you will pay from your pocket. Kiona wanafunzi bange
lakini na uba appeal na ndine ringa chi process echo chiwa chichava chi
you appeal to
serikali ngochezi kiumbe
you appeal to
na bengi buna help ngochire ya konga I think ekobitore na no muntu chikorigichi office ya magacha amanyana se ya gotoka
Imagine trying to imagine the scenario that Sam akaweke kinyo kia kioke I got the form for 2023 that the entire village I've never found a reason to call for even for the media akaonya Sam but they are waiting for 2 more years look at that scenario then
somebody koma gobori ngoborai bara se bono no nyana se binyura bagambi emirimo ne
motivingi anga when they are ensure there is 100% transition ni motivate.
By the way, this is the same issue we have been talking about. We are having these stories cha obokonyi kerero kyobokonyi in across the the famous Marantiganya to make it because you will expect it from there. You see, talk bolinga before even the maybe abantu where is the leadership of this community? By the way, as we have the chiefs, we have the nyumba kumi. Abantu rero uburayi bole. In fact, where is the church? Number one, Asagochi. What is the community? And then let's talk about even friends. You see, abantu tiga maito onyoko konya kore. Diagoche almost immediately. You see, you could have solved the issue mapema Bono. Already avero mochan. You see, kusipsimu agane for the next 2 years. Eremuru school was a system. Then these 2 years, if with the support of the help, maybe inga kiarego so school, still yarenge problem. What about Bono? Do you know how much is to pay the university fee? To have a university fee work and how it's costly.
How to have ignorance and disease. Not then ignorance. It's called way. Because wanafunzi yangu in the first year, there is that priority kako in first year kako geostay within. And they are cheap as compared kako combo. Stay geostay. So once she joins the first year one year, out to school. Because tako chukonyana accommodation.
Privileges in Chile one chiria first year.
You see now the cost want to be too high. Unless na monta mwaka ne fees in lamsa mata benga na hakane miaka UN. But itakuwa ngumu. Anaweza na appeal mapema atarajoin. But again ndo discuss amwengelinga ki. Ne community yali. Musikongo na I remember katoka nchi kanisa. No nechimo mose kwa kanisa iko konyora ri kwa chiko university. Konya kanisa bata bantange bata tubatana bata nga bana aba. Na baba.
Bago chiko so.
Balinzake.
Yes.
Tukato change tubaye pocket money.
By the
way, mbamete baka results yekero chiko soka abana gete baitire mbabwante kogenda college.
Then let me tell you. Let me borrow a leaf from our church whereby they pray before even the exam. People are prayed for.
Ukotale rukoboko.
Mwasabire muetire. Good, Mwanyo results. What is the position? So, do you pray for those children baitira matem the grace of God yachire? Bakolire so period. So I think Abuga, let us our community one. Let me tell you. Abana nguchiko join Barichi University. Look at 136 out of the 170 who could have gone there. So it tells like 34. If not 33, I think that around 33,000 barabatara again. So omwiboli ondebwensi otagete ka omwana ya ndi school. Yako nyako postponing atuko ati pesa. At least to solve it now. Tema ngomuntu yaso esukuru for now egere kwa avoid o chakutwaro mochando in those years coming. And then the community now should now come. But let the community identify ngaki abana so and so mbabwenta kwa ndesku. Nando to nyoranga bali bata keteko so university mbali ko bange mono you can take care of. Ne tabanga ne school fees wakana. At least no pocket money. Even some other issues na boko nyoranga kwa take care of.
So nito ko nyara ikaranza mukigambe morone kya bana ba.
And again ebiombe rero ebita I mean how do we call chichamas ebintombere byachire binge chiko groups self help group. That is the essence of those groups by the way. Umwana onyara benko she's within the group ngakitora mokonya. Another thing umwana oyo ni igendongere ngorata by the way, and I've always insisted in the radio the ngota bangaki rero samunche tinsomiri na abayiboli bane wesena bali bankonye tensome ngende mbekali a microphone and with our family wo bugaya mbatangase I'm here today. Omwanafunzi to kwenda sukuru wasomero bwalimu wanda kubeka your family ochaka ko baraki ochaka ko baso. You are of a benefit to the community. Like uko wacha ko citizen ingia ya Kenya okuoffer services onyo ko mwalimu ogokonya wanafunzi from all walks of life, from all the country. Onye no munyagitari no are go senketi are wherever the hospital agokonya a whole community. Correct? Not even the community, a whole country. Are you seeing? So let us embrace let it be a community project. Umaita abana mdeba abuga bare ko barest na at a community level. Umwana ko nyorwo ko sete gwae go iboko na ande mamu minuga ka ngogoita. Nganya rebo ngita na ndo comment because na maitenga at the end of the day mundu ta go itabos. Igen tonkero wakora. So owning these people as a community feels good, at least abantu bakonyana, because igago chakoba of a benefit to the community, not to just an individual.
Yes, abuga omete Mike Wilson boringa atebanga anda kekero yatokiringa ebintu gose family ya obire riro ringonya orore chijirani chiko cha bakuboringa Getembe kamuranje tubwati sitokonye familia yega amaene ne amate ne jirani intoba maete konyora kwa boinse kore komenye kwebori naki amatukaya ndo sipi nkayo konyora amate yege gotoka
Natevanga sometimes you can disease by day. No, I'm looking at the umano yorete kwere ndeno timogrango oyo kala korrete story moisonde that the whole community chiango chiae chianti chiae they have been sitting for the last whole year. That's 23 December. 24 young people back about August. And then not even the community. There's the gentleman who spoke in that story. One day so. Then I had to go to Kira, one on Walenga. Not that the people in the community who are met India, but back to the country, I live in Europe. They speak friendly friends and they're just there. I don't know what happened with those sons and daughters back in India. But you could see in the comic no mundo what already, but you're calling one of my parents. Even the CDF manager, the CDF staff, kera CDF nebuate chirep kurwase kinyulu. Hati mojumbe na kimojumbe again tekerega nake. Na bora rani mojumbe kumeta manyite.
Yeah.
Yes.
Tamaite I see some cases for matega iga stage south matega iga. Zakes caring last year. Mojumbe na bwate program yoko fund abana baende form 1. It was last year but 1 yes. Ono okole go make rest complete. Amango shtukire story and social media nga mwanafunzi wa degree. Ona koboli twatangasa mpaka chikanisa mpaka chiparasa. Wanga iya lengera.
Umujumbe nero chotarakira umuchi.
Iya lengera.
Aligia.
Fortunately, akamweka the system yaka sponsor ya kande school. But even though binde as a community, mmereka tongo kinakale. Bali bale mutu yito. Bakachangiro makande school.
Yeah.
Should be told. As a community, wasani bacha.
Abantu muchangiro.
Nyanda mamdia lengo.
In fact, paka at a high school level. Abantu
mamdia lengo. So I'm wondering like, if you want to happen, you want to get a kick. Like, where do we start from now? Kera bone security, into the assembly. Apaka konya bana bagende in school. See some the figure we are talking about 136,634. Now very partner the funding from the government as it's going in. You see, the last year we had 170,000 students joining university. But they have hope to kind of medical school in. There are some who have gotten scholarship by actually maybe outside the countries. Not for a long time, abana wagusi, abana from Kenya went to India, in America. But there's a change of route to Australia.
Yeah, from
it was happening in Canada. So maybe this figure is 34,000. But the optical will seek the alternative education system. But truth be told, Sam, the system is struggling.
Sure.
Mining is the most struggling. The government implemented CBC. At the same time, invest funding model.
Big elephant.
But instead of leaving it, it transition to another step. You got to CBC and move up. Yeah, what?
It's high time by the Matilda.
Yes.
The church, the community want to take care of you, the children. Ekanisa gari saranza morango mwana onyarawe na itete what is up. Mo basabira mbatikira at that level. And rakoba support egera bache baba over much benefit kwa sababu even the nevingo mwana yarakon.
Ase getiro kirandake bono ntubwate level 4 yechi skuru kero gosekero to kwandira senior schools ime yense ya Kenya. Ase murubiriga OCBC bono kero to kwandira igoro yeme emerimo iri bawo kora Tupate subjects. Lakini omwalimu nara omworoke nara aiga omtebete Mr. Musoshi kantebete nga ntiri ya noloma call the subjects kwa learning areas.
Learning areas.
I think omuchando noraro umetekera tukurigire buna senior schools echire the 4th level of basic education imense ya Kenya. Ikiagira I think levels echi mienda no nyare ko chi highlight ntupate buna bono kuru ECDE batwara
ntupate kuru ECD twagenda I think comprehensive school twenda junior tomakanda senior secondary
ultimately lower primary
lower primary
lower primary
used to exist those times
grade 1 mpaka grade 6
kuru grade 1 mpaka grade 6
juko oikera tu kwa na comprehensive ndio mpaka mpaka junior schools
Baros junior school nero
Junior school nero the senior school.
We have the junior
school is grade 7 to grade 10.
Yes. Senior school grade
11 to what?
Junior school from grade 7 to grade 9.
Grade 9.
Then
senior is from
10 to 12 is senior.
Senior now.
Alafu grade 1 mpaka grade 6.
That's basic education.
Basic education. Then to what the ECD. You see, even to we are transitioning anyway, even to we are changing, and much as for me, this country can fail in terms of communication. Like when we are transiting, say one level to another, you see, everybody they don't know all about the CBC. I can tell you for free, and that is why we will go pinga mono. Taringa go pinga tamai. Ya go pinga sing try so manyangi. We could be having the best maybe education model, but kwa sababu we have no education kwa area Bible batabunga. This igana we went to koruga kwa nyoranga Bible wago tend ko ba ignorant. No, not ignorant actually. Bago tema ko bago tema ko pinga sing but about information. That is why look at how many things backfire from the government level because the government has failed kwa abantu education go seji senwe batabinge gente ko taete ko kora yensha ego taete to kora igana you give people again take una ego chikoba. So the whole issue of CBC mpaka bono wikira bono iga there's a way able batara understand how do you transit kuruga gochiga. You see we had again talking about the 844 system yatanga kwanyore esabu 40%. Wana Bible into what meeting expectation expecting sijui
the approaching anyway amienda abwese to ko kwanira mangana basic education the 4 levels ichiga to kwanira tupate pre-primary iyo bwate ECD PP1 na PP2 tugatwara primary school umete mwate banganda ke primary school teyo eyere grade 1 to grade 6 iyo primary school alafu tugatwara junior school ebwate grades 9 7 8 and 9 na we go tugatwara senior schools ebwate grade 10 11 na we go 12 igo asichile vechi gainya pre-primary abange napo chiko manikana tuna ECD abange bamete PP1 PP2 primary school grade chiri yakawedi lito akarokire primary bono grade 1 to 6 junior school 7 to 9 na we go senior school 10 to 12 tomune gocha gukwanira learning areas abuga amete abange egenta I think tamwere common ekro to kwanira learning areas go subjects echiga bande bakwira STEM abange bakonga STEM lakini mbari gochifa
Mate, the language you tunaka bono igase education system ya Kenya. Yani okoranga language ya tunakira university or yene primary. So in somewhere in junior and senior secondary schools. Learning areas they are talking about learning partial and reaching each other. But partial and only 5. The STEM I think they only 5, but I'm seeing 4.
They had maths, English.
There were 5. Yeah. But they're talking about senior school grades 10 to 12 comprise 3 years of education for learners generally in age bracket of 15 to 17.
Yes.
And then the subjects at senior school are classified according to 3 pathways, namely science, technology and engineering, math, STEM, then arts and sports and social sciences. Then, those were 3.
I can see at pre-tertiary and pre-university, pre-career,
chi pathways echo chire science, tech, engineering and maths eyore STEM nabo igonto bwate arts and sports sciences nabo igonto bwate social sciences.
Yes, those are three.
Chire
Those are pathways, yeah, there are three.
Pathways na chicho otetigarinde kero tokubika pathways echi kando yes kero tokwanda senior school pathways echi kero chire kando ntobwate compulsory learning areas kose subjects echo chire tobwate English, Swahili twatwara hesabu na bwo tukatwara community service learning. I think yenererengeni
You did social studies.
Ntoakorete lakini bona seriete koloko.
Even maths kama tupate core maths and essential maths.
Yes. Ekiro tukura kwanere chiga chire compulsory. Echiga oroche languages Kiswahili na English na bwo tukatwara hesabu. Hesabu I think na ndene kabwate hesabu ne bwate ne recovery tubwate core maths na bwo essential maths.
Maths, yes.
Core maths hesabu eri ememono hesabu endito nigiganiri asaborokiwa bali bagochikubwata abana bagochikokora chikosi buna na rap na bono chikosi nchiro chindito. Yes abantu ba STEM muntu ndebonse gochikosoa samangana STEM ochokora science, technology tobwate science and technology, engineering na health abakwire sabu manyekana buna ko
maths another question will be which type of maths.
Which type of? So we have two types of maths.
Essential maths neiga asi abantu bakora social science yani eliengusu esabu engusu.
Eliengusu yani generally.
Mathematics. Asa abantu bali bote sabu na yenda.
No, don't accuse me. Na
essential mathematics yani essentials onyole very basic. Sabu eli ya bene.
Enge theory.
Also mbiwe sabu eli ngusu. At least ito sokore fwa. Yes. But abantu bagochokora chikozi chi ndito chiri chitagete sabu enyingi batakire ko mathematics. Igonga ekiro tukwanere sabu Kiswahili, English and abo community service learning. Echo chiri compulsory. Bona kero to so samangana pathways. Bono no aborokiwa bwene teko select no batakire guidance.
Yeah, bono.
Even guidance and counseling.
Actually, depending on your career path.
Nkikeriota keteko chikoba. Mienda arts and sports science ne bwate highlights kusene begete gabu learning areas chiro monta bwende chi subject chiro monta bwende gokora.
Cheer arts and sports,
Yes.
The sports and recreation, music and dance, theater and film and fine arts. You see, at least now we are in
Wanyorere mukuru wabu.
Wanyorere. You can tell music and dance. When you watch TikTok, sports and then at least in the spirit of Umara, we send award players. It means this thing is good. You have to in sports. Now back impress.
Which dance are you talking about?
Which
when there's dance on a music festival, there's a dance on a drama festival. Okay, I took more dancing. This dance that was waiting for maybe what was on Miavana.
It's school.
Cultural, the songs,
the
cultural
the
songs.
drama festival.
Traditional songs. I don't want to tengera. Okay, I don't mention the songs, but don't you tengera the movie TikTok.
Anyway, into what theater and film.
Theater and film, that is acting, yeah. By fine arts and all.
I was in the arts and sports.
Recreation, I think it's all about swimming. Swimming is it a sport?
That is swimming, yoga, recreation.
Even
TV.
And you see, even theater and the film, people will think like, they want to record films in England. Film and theater is about acting. Let's carry this drama and the music festival chair to us. Other than first school, you have activities. Only I will song. That range from my journey, masomo, that act film.
Trojing again take seems to be good by the way. More of the only go to
that is seems. No more of your room.
No, no, you are.
That's
what I told you. I'm an MP. No, me. I'm now withdraw the Sims. omorobere ono muyapi but for parents bari bataramanya that's why now it seems to be good but anyway I withdraw seems lakini no morobere omuya by the way kwa sababu umaite Matilda the 844 ya lengenga it's all about theory we koso moite practical ya lengembe you are learning about oxalis ngwa somote in science na bora mizi komanya oxalis ngakie korokana lakini ase bijana korete nonyero
manyanga oxalis ne nyonyeri otakwenda
lakini this one it's more of nga omuntu naro nyasa tatu sesenete 20 omuntu naro theory yae ari insipi lakini there are some co-curricular activities in the name of also mabona sports and all this chira konyo omuntu agendere gukora ibintu byaye
mienda se arts and sports nereri kwarenge byase school
Nche. No. What I said the other time, what I was good at. I was good at football.
Spoken word.
Football behind spoken word. I don't know football. And I used to recite poems. And I was a good narrator. I was a good narrator. The sports. Regan tunaro korakero kipi. No mupira football. Na working race primary. Igo period.
Inturenda nyenchi arenge anake yarenge school yeto music I think injena chiete
music
dance tinkoreti
music I think
recreation I will say recreation tutebe ontimbu banare wakana inderoche
I was poor in dancing, that's why I could not do drama, the cultural dance. I was not also good in music. I wasn't good.
Ine pathway ya mo ekira to kwanira amangana ya yebiye gwa bono talent ya
kero. You have now social sciences.
Yes. Bono to pate social sciences abuga.
Not different from with the culture by the.
No difference.
Only that they have specified.
Nga uko moro kiwenyorere koro.
Like social sciences by the guy, they've done French, German, but when you talk about high school na campus kama mtu mimi bwa from high school when as a part time course but when you look at the class still amo ndo ko bisoma like now talk about Kisii area Christian religious
education
kwa banyi spiritly ya beire kre that religion Etwani masoma
kasi ndo chara
big difference here. What do you call history and citizenship ngi kiale history and what
history and citizenship
ngi mwaso mete history and what history and government.
Oh yeah, history and government.
Yes. So, even in change.
Geography.
Studies, business studies and something. In school. So, indoor religious education here as a topic in CRE. Islamic here a topic. All things here a topic. Christian religious education here is here na but maybe they will be changing the topics and paji wasoma. The only advantage here they have introduced these languages to us after work all the school. Maybe going after Form 4. Kuna some French in. So it's
German.
I'm sure even the government will now start employing people. Faculty French, German, Arabic. It's an advantage to on the faculty language here. There's a school, there's a private school, I don't mention it, advert, but there's a school, a private school, I got all these languages as we speak. So it's but it's something. What we have introduced the indigenous languages. Jiarengo. Kwa sababu kikwetu, ningu kwetu mwe kerete.
Somateke usi.
Somateke usi dalo. Somateke kwetu.
Somateke usi as a subject yes.
This was somateke kwetu. Somateke usi, wakalike usi kabisa.
Njabana.
I think abuga voso wasometeke usi. Ngora wa attend class.
Yeah, na wako na
Tarenge wa attend classes.
But you see, I want to believe ngaki maja sinta encountered it, but I think abuga was it just the basic. Kwa sababu yo kiaringe ko ikire class kete kiara. I think
kiaringe ko class ya mobaka class.
So at this level ngakiritenga Matilda, you couldn't learn yeke usikiri keme mono was all about the basic for me.
Ndona kwa na ganto stia bakanitenga professor kete Kiswahili. Kwa tabange Kiswahili mundau kwa next Kiswahili. But it depends on surrounding wewe kwa. Kama ndio wewe kwa. Kuna ile Kiswahili ya kufunzwa class ime. Kiswahili ngeke kwa kama mugamba, watu kwa nema
sajili.
Kiswahili kwa kwa nyagitari. So it's very different. Wengi wanake kusikia nini kiao. Kiao was meant for setup ya. You interfere mandeke kusi. It was meant to communicate.
Yeah, ne. Anyway, ase pathways ichiga to kwa na isato, ichucha art, sports and science, tukatwara social sciences na kwa science was STEM. Asichi gaisa to korengana ne wizara yechisemi nigo bagotebonga at least tu kurwa umoroki wakira akorire chikachire compulsory echiga inye chintangani abonte komenta eyende ko yake api ebere kurwa se pathway
ndochega
yake igwanga nabo umoroki wako enyorera kurwa se pathway yeyemo na bako enyorera chi subject isatu chia commenterania se chirichire compulsory gusena bako nyore pathway yeyemo achore ibere asuke pathway yende amento murimo onde oyemo I think abuno obo kongubo chia no confusion ego chuyachira ase no nyabo ibori gose lakini lana asirende kero wekire senior schools as a, by now aboroki wamba bwana teko ba ku understand.
By the way buna bono you see Matilda these basics kero chiro basic like lazima uchikora but when we kero to weka asemono montago chikochora it means now you are considering what you are going to do as your career origerenga mbinto kibiri which subjects are this ochikosoma chira kwanya your career buna bono
lakini ngekero bwate compulsory echo bonente komenta kurose pathways echichinde isato igo at least 7 subjects omoroke wabonente gutwa
at least. But we have someone can do even more.
Yes, but everything across a pathways each gonna watch around more than 3 of which cross a yamo. Went to go chore.
Yeah, because at senior school, at senior school, umuntu kwa manyirenga nkyoda itakoba by the way. That's why now nakiata primary level tairunga bono chore binto ta itakora because trauma. You see, you are just learning the basics, and then karo ikire senior school na no bongo boyo kirenga ya njenda itakoba guseno manyagitari guseno morale then o mo nyagitari yoyo nkinta itakoba guseno bwalimu nkinta itako chikosoma kwa insist on that.
Na ndo moroki wanale oranya ole chiga chintanga ninye echichire compulsory and aso yasekire pathway choro mure moyo kolengana na kiria guchikoba so bwini
ndo chaba aviation nere aviation
my worry is about na pathway kichikochora my worry is umwana oli mutaka le mashinani
otagite ko chiko
kama nyabikondo primary itakuwa that proper guidance as kombeno mwana or for division academy anki mwana to understanding even film and arts you mwana to understand okay as much as I'm told they'll be registering the pathway which you take come and admission to another school then I feel there's a way about to separated from the fine education from this other side education. But what we are seeing here, subject like science and technology and engineering, mathematics, STEM. Some of these subjects here, before joining from one inch, because I joined a new system. We were among the first group to join to answer. I think 5 subjects in primary. KCP talk about 5 subjects. So we were among the first group to join.
KCP 5, I think.
How many subjects? 5. So we are the pioneers of 5 subjects by day. Oh no, because they were I think 7. Class. The last group I counted there were 7. They were 5. So we were the pioneer class. So this even the metal work, power mechanics, good work were there in high school when we were doing Form 1. Actually, the Form 1, the last group is Form 4, Form 3, Form 2 I think.
Form 2. Baringe possible.
Yeah, baringe to the Form 2.
Woodwork,
electricity, power mechanics. Because I remember Canada school, there was a workshop on the back. I could sit in the watch. Could enjoy it during the games time. Yes, they were there. That's why people they want you to move from senior secondary. Okay, no junior area. University certificate or study these things. Talking about Form 4, talk about end background. Yeah, good work. Ya power mechanics nini echiko banga kwa ni college ndo chikokora nendo kwa nyorene no wao na kialinga machine.
And again you see my worries also is when you are talking about the STEM part ndo cheke ganto about the building and construction, to what electricity, to what metal work, power mechanics, that tells you a lot of practicals, not actually the theory. Bono gana no tukuboli embi mono abugangwa boli goro ya nyabikondo nkyo montago cha kumanyo mwana ngakiago cha kumanyo. So ngaki skuru yerego cha konyora this the necessities infrastructure the raw materials echu na bono when you are talking about the marine and the fisheries technology.
Abuito ke omondo koro.
We need to be specific on a certain community na bono talk about those deserts.
How will they somera mangana nyancha ayo marine
yes, marine and fisheries technology.
This senior secondary.
Yes.
Senior secondary. Or from junior secondary, you get admission a senior secondary. So once you get interested in this, you file to a senior secondary.
Offer
that. Like now they are talking like career pathway STEM, maybe there's a business pathway arts. In the name, Turko ya school. No school giri baganga wono sam ngomwana nengonye. Na tamatem giri baga school. Yeah.
But my argument is the system now tells ekoiro. What about maybe
shida bona ase school fees ndaki abuga kotevera butambe ndaki aigasa abana bali andake omwebulia aukurose background ogwisirwa koraroro no bono umuchando ukikobere ikiagera omwana oyo omurima ategete gukora ochorirwo rangerigo school of choice eri bwate ekofa chi subject chiga chonsi lakini ho uchikorikere no nyene school
fees yes because school fees in this you see now actually the school fees are changing kindergarten only that the government is funding education, should be told. Why not for the extra revenues? When senior Kobekwasi school, Kanga, Bible, Mario complain.
Igo a system, to what biology, chemistry, physics, eri andake. Physics, inki ya koreta vanto. To what general science, agriculture, computer studies, home science, aviation, building, construction, electricity. Waka electricity.
Metal work nera.
Power mechanics.
I think now
also
by the way, I'm seeing media technology.
Media technology nera gabo.
Tima think media technology. Yeah. That's what you cover now. And the media. What's that?
Because AI.
Well, I'm seeing if things are going to go the way they want to go. One thing there's fine arts, there's student the film, you know, when you work with
the media technology, abana bali chi lecture I think now bara offer.
Unless they want to
introduce media.
No, they are doing what to call retouring.
Yes.
The
training a special.
Yes,
which is about
pick some teachers go there for training. So I think they are catering for all these processes.
I think abuga cover the issue.
Timba tisho ende onse. Nataka mnyoka sigete. Na yote ko yana na andi mapi.
Biamana sana wancho murigira ukirabo tukragenda ase omutimoko. Tupira na se o toko genda se omutimoko moke na bwo kira turayirana ntuche commenta ko sento chikorigererie egati yali tutaramurikira ase ebirebe gakorenda ase bono genda ko sangana into ase mitandao ya kijamii no bwo wetera ase namba ya studio.
Etwani yabugire ayo mworo karugetanda. Etwani yabugire ayo mworo karugetanda. Ayo mworo karugetanda bana mbale njara. Ayo mworo karugetanda bana mbale njara. Uzito somya bamura baje kuya mandegere. Uzito somya bamura baje kuya mandegere.
Ndagira njana gwansabna iyero sirine Riziki Caterers. Riziki Caterers ngorobare obukoreri ubuya asachinse mubuna outside catering. Asemeyega buna chinyangi chionse, chi birthday, housewarming, chi anniversary, chi get together, amatanga, corporate events. Kokorabare nankoena nabare obukoreri asachinse muboyego buna decorations, chi ebirogo, chimesa, chikeke, nabo igon kuru barobo koreri bwa public address system. Yubago toka mbarabari ne skuru yuboroso ya jogo. Samange bakresi miase namba 0797119986. Riziki Caterers. Ubuansu Wendagera.
Mama Rosa.
Jirani.
Mama Rosa, nimefika hapa kwako.
Karibu sana jirani yangu.
Naendeleaje?
Tuko salama.
Mbona mzee analala chini hapa na analia?
Mzee analia, mzee ni mgonjwa. Mzee amekaa nashughulikia yeye, nimempeleka hospitali, hata sasa anashinda ugonjwa wake, nimpeleke wapi sasa?
Sasa shida ya mzee ni gani? Huyu mzee hajazeeka. Shida yake ni gani unamuacha hivi?
Mzee wangu mara ni mgongo, mara ni kifua. ukikuja mara magoti, mara miguu, hata kuinua hivi juu huwezi inua. Sasa nimeshindwa nifanye nini jirani?
Wewe usikii hata redio ikitangaza juu ya hospitali inaitwa Nuga Best.
Nekene enyagitari ya Nuga Best nero yuka ewate okubwa uwokorubu wenya wetere chimashini chekerero kurwa sinseri ya South Korea. Nuga Best niko babire bako wenya amarwire ao ayuagendere ko bagagucanda mwanya bantu unabono uburwire buri bwa mauga yani arthritis, uburwire bwo mugongo watia ulcers, amarwire yenda onsi egati amarwire nde niko bako batokubo wene boiga bagotumeka chimashini chekerero niko bagotoka imeyo mu cy'ubusungo asamagacho auru tawa sirirongo lya kabere eyuerange nebengi ya Kenya Women batari rero Nuga Best gotanga mbuya kubwa kugwenia
ngora mugaka ke na kigwito mugaka
okorratindi bobe
obo mano ne kero kwacha ono gotarangwa konyaro tano no goikaransa ngwaro konyaro goikaransa mugaka aiga ni gore sinya getari ya Nuga Best
nande ngimwacha kwa nkori nyagitari kaki uruti na itana ni gucinya gitari kumanyinga na mente kaki abana bane ucisindani ntungiru gutungu nigombali rukubarwa kaki nimbe
ayo mugaka na getari itu nduri ko rusimanyinga nduri ko kobara nduri ko kobekera macho mugaka etu ko bwene ko etera samari ko itana no Diamond tumeni ambuno ikaranse kana mari ko ikaransirete amari ko anara ko konya go swa senjera yo mubere elinda ko konye ko bweno mugaka na bono tukware ko nyara ko tara mugora yali ndialete amari ko anara ko so mugaka ago konyo mugaka ko konyoro sami kiera mbuke kabisa no mugongo mugaka yo ni kubuya igesi ndu esinya getari itu ya Nuga Best nduri ko bara nduri ko rusimanyinga nduri ko bekera macho ndo se mugaka etu ko bwene tera senjera yekerero asoko tumeka chimashini chito chekerero cha Nuga Best mugaka
Abuya mole Endo wazeo
Egena nyasaye tumia Nuga Best ebintu binde byonsi tiga na nyasaye wekata kurai omenye naenda bwebuya nubo sale no bwato muberogo were tena kaira bali bali tena wek kera ni dini ndo na tabe tuwe clinic kyo mugaka ne kyo mongena na bahira tena wek kurumba golera machine ye mati na nya ko bahira clinic ya arthritis igongo bahira tuwa clinic riyo korana manyinga bara manyinga buyare ndo buyare mwaka na wako chaga orani uyana agota bwe
Nuga Best inchu naye bwenekerie obuwenia bwekene Hazan Mega Wholesalers asentundende nande nigo yirenire buya nande biyemono asentundiye nigo egokoneria ebinto aserigori erianse kegema asetauni ga ya busongo koni bare ebinto asensemo ya electronics electricals chibirika chibasi chiestima chiufa chi TV tabletop cookers chi microwave chi dispenser chi blender chi radio chi chararani chi blow dry chi socket chi cable chi bulb chi bulb holder chi heater ne binde ebinge phone accessories na chi charger chi USB cables earphones wireless ports ne chi sime asensemo ya household nkoni bari chi sane chi thermos ebikombe ebirogo chi basin ne binde ebinge asensemo ya cosmetics koni bari chi body lotion chi spray chi air food makeup kits chi sabuni ne binde ebinge koni bare chi soda ne chi juice asensemo elia hardware koni bare chi power saw chi generator chi piano ne chi amplifier chi mixer public address systems chi nyange chi solar panel na boigo asensemeli ya stationery koni bare chi geometrical set erangi jebikoroto chi kram chi calculator chi rubber ne chi toy semoyende nkoni bali tissue papers chi serviette chi dapa chi sanitary towels ne chi toothpaste karuteri kwiba chi toothbrush boy gonkoni bali chi fridge agirira unyare kwigurira ebintu biga aserigo lyanse Hazan Wholesalers nigo egokora free delivery usinige okoratira ebintu gurite asosao wika asure asorgongo rwonsi rwa Nyanza nige gotoka ase enyumba ya Getembe building ange na smart lady I guess roundabout ya Busongo asa mange kwana no director o Hazan Wholesalers ase ogo kairigori na maburi ande amange oratware sin number 0722 237187
ine kwabeire gukorera asenga kintambe guse nigo kwarwalire na gusalia endibo enyinge buno tokwa omoyo inyagitali ya World Fit Health Centers neroli chibuliao nyuranga nonyorobu wenia bwa maruire amange abuna amaruire yesukali amaruire yenda amaruire yomogongo na yande amange
we call your prostate no borwere bwa sumbuira abagaka sana bwe sukari what you call the genesis of diabetes ngaki borwere bwe sukari bo so mobero goime hypertension no borwere kera manyinga ko gende igure so mobero World Fit itosomete chinchereza to chokorwa ya marwaire enjere ntangani itosomete ngendo nga conventional medicine yani obonyagitali obwa kawaida itosomete ngendo nga nutritional medicine na marioga aliakurwese endagera ya ito ya kawaida kwa mfano we have ntupiku amino acids ntubwate fatty acids ntubwate vitamins na kadhalika bigo tumbeka esoko rwali amarwaire njirende yagata tosomerete neka tugutumia international herbal medicine tugutumia mariogo akurwese mete twarwali amarwaire igao muchito bosongo monene ntubwate clinic yeito ase nyumba ya Uhuru Plaza noerega iga marikiti gaiso wako ninyama kwali na iguru wacho wake goroba ya gatatu erumu 307A ntubwate branch mu Eldoret ase nyumba ya Kogo Plaza first floor room 2
World Fit Health Centers umusani obo asamarwaire minyoka
Sha Ceramics netuka eyeko n'ebintu by'obwagaji au asiligo lirense nkonya bali mirror and cabinets asebabwate aluminium and accessories mbabwate mirango y'echingenjo au mbabwate chitangi au nabwo kurose company au locks and accessories mbabwate chichogo se toilets echichire chechingenjo au nabwo n'ebintu bikutumika se e bathroom mbabwate kitchen sinks nabwo ne tap babwate bintu bikokora plumbing au babwate marbles and granites nkona bale MDF boards kona bale deformed bath chichingenjo au babwate bathtubs babwate tiles echichire chichingenjo au konya bale boigo ebintu bunabona wall to wall carpets nkona bale boigo chirangi kurwasa company au asibabwate chimachine echo chiko chiburukania babwate biro byechingenjo au babwate gypsum pots chisimiti amabati egati ebintu binde binge ebyo bakona seligolirense nigo bagutuka ase nyombere manyakanta na Cansons Plaza asebara ya Kisii Kisumu imbe yomuchijuiga obusungo asamange naboko bakiresi bibweterase chinamba cyabo 0703943972
Kila nafsi na
twarariye ogukwa ku mwaka John Dominic Gichana Yuromurugi Onyagusira Saline Nyabuke Gichana Ngarise Elias Mayaka Celestine Davidson Lilian Kombuka Veronica Ikonge Pascal Maina Honorable Don Bosco Oga na muraha gichana nigaro mwana onyagusira Edward Oroni no muhina Alexina Komboka yare mumurumu abo Helen muraha Mary Kirbo Anakemma Cleophas Gisemba Oroni Rachel Mukera na Jennifer Nyamoita na Boigolinet nigari Seviara Joanita Geita Johan Davidson Kisinja Kimonge Evans Mugaka Morio Tendwa Faith Ash Duale no Mheshimiwa Oscar Sede Nsokoro ya Marcus Tess Davidson Malik Olga Charlotte Valentine Michael Saul Leo Kipchilchir Eugene Tess Kissinger Rachel Boss Juanita Chris Nebacheba Igari Mokoyoye Negusera Benjamin Makori Openda Negusera Crescential Nyabonyi Gichana Negusera Jane Oigo Michael Omayo Openda Pauline Aberi Elizabeth Ongombe Advocate Frederick Ondigo na John Kin Gichana Igari simu ya Negusera Lawrence Gichana Negusera Zachary Oigo Negusera Joseph Aberi na Daniel Ongombe. Negari kora ya Benjamin Suta, Salina Murkomen, Kipiatich, Francis, Negusera Gladys Tendwa, Rachel Kimonge, Negusera Berit Von Davidson, Nebego Salik Davidson, Negusera Mugaka, Singombe, Negusera Batsheba Mara. Wabiri noru segwe enkendia Eldoret, tariki maronge bine ya mumutinyu gatanu gatatumwa kuiga, nekaro rakorerwe emisa Kisii Cathedral, kubabo ogendenka asi merobelio komwenya erakorkane Maran Stadium, tariki maronge bine biro mutinyu gatanu gatatumwa kuiga, alia rikenye enkayaye no arai niwe. Getembe Television na Getembe FM torengore ito.
Etwani yabugire ayo mworo karugetanda Etwani yabugire ayo mworo karugetanda bana mbale njara ayo mworo karugetanda bana mbale njara uzito somya bamura baje kuya mandegere uzito somya bamura baje kuya mandegere
Omonchomo rigereria nekira togenda tukurigereria gusego kwandira mangana echisemiri tukeriga ya Jumanne kira togenda tukumurikira umurobiriga OCBC lakini CBE CBE alafu ntugwate na CBET umanyete CBET yere abanda bagoswase technical schools chiskuru chiobo bundi aiga sense ya Kenya anu mwana kira tukumurikira junior schools senior schools omete junior bonega abaiboli abange mbacha ku understand akira tukenda tukwana senior schools apart from kurigereria chi subject mienda enoti neraiga across wizara ya the Ministry of Education igego tabanga Physical Education PE and Information Communication and Technology ICT will be offered to all learners to facilitate learning and acquisition of life skills. Maite PE chiskuru chinde ebarenge para kanyaranga chinse cha PE mwalimu naroro kogani koria chinse cho use chiskuru chinyinge barenge go value abana kogenda PE lakini ase in the new model usase oe curriculum yegenya nere epitereti kigima nadenga na be wizara go tabanga kero moro kiwa batu arobo sibore bogoswa bokogenda PE na boigo basomi ba mangana ICT Information Communication and Technology erinde aborokyo banyara gutwara ubumanyi nase chinoti chiga eyende gotabanga every school shall offer pastoral or religious program of instruction elito karokire PPI pastoral program mwaye wate mwaye kabiri Friday kemambiga ase school chinyinge to enhance moral spiritual and character development of learners. No school shall force learners to participate in religious rites and activities that are contrary to their beliefs as a per circular of gukwanirire ekatiba nere against richiko igomoroki wate yobonete kopitererirwa nga chinsa chia pastoral onyore skuru ebegete osese nginje skuru yiga ni gichageti nere ta sent nga borokigwa bali bagusasima abana wana sabato nga mbabusa kogenda gutwara gusangirikana kwabo nga ndakese nginje skuru ne ya I think it's skuru chinyinge nje bwate freedom eyo.
Yeah, I think it's good. It's important. Much as Torochinga, every school shall have of a pastoral religious program. By the way, it is to enhance their spiritual and character development. You see, the church, as a church setup, Matildah, you support moral in terms of morals. Ekanisa ye koreta abantu yani ko basomi obuya no gutwara chimbu chingia. That's why it's even important.
Na kemoika ko bakine.
Ko bakonye kemoika at least abantu bamanyanga nyasaye oyo konya abantu. So it's important and it's good. Na ande went ko impressed at any level, by the way, of any institution in this country. Lakini again tona rorire kerebiyanga to force yo mwanafunzi agende according to the sponsorship yes skuru yo. Mati skuru njire sponsored by SDA, njire sponsored by Adventist. Let me use a decent word. Adventist na ndento bwate Catholic na MPAG and all those. So tari lazima mwanafunzi agende as a kanisa yego sponsor. Lakini if we have freedom of what we call worship, and talking about the PE,
exercise.
It's good. By the way, no chene banga to kuri SME, to kubeka mwana from morning mpaka evening no gosoma gweka. But kubwa kingo soma. You know it becomes tiresome. No bongo so PE was just a refrainer. Like yani ge kobo at least mwana
kwagenda kwaranyegeria umubiri wake bagenda baminyoka
baraminyoka bari fresh obongo bana baruma tembo wende
bwati I think ntigento nara gukora buya chinga kitia pi okana nanjikana negitio mugaso igoro kwa uga onye kwigwete guchura guchigoro kwa watu gutobo
yani
umorosori wekira
it's important kwa sababu nko konyera at least kwa relieve yourself kurwa sama some but much as renda balimu abange bari gutumika
listen walimu sabu
there are things but again PE is very important. It's a physical a thing. Now the PE, by the way, it will come to be a general sports activity like mwete karavana bago chess unlike karori specific kinga I want the sports and you have your lesson for sports but this now becomes general even want the sports tonjeti nyoka isikali nyoka igako mpira it will be general
kena mubeke nonyesa ko
yeah abanafunze bonse pi unlike bali barachigochora asensema ya sport so it's very important and abari mutiga ba impress when we have things that dictating abana tikaba ende PE and there is a teacher who is responsible for that PE.
Na mangana ICT kiro moro kiwanyore amasomo iguru ya mangana technology information communication and technology.
Yeah, it's important kwa sababu Matilda we have technology improving.
Onye no gutumika AI abana bonse banyore information. Taringe lazima bali bako chikochora amangana yega bako chikokora buna bono media technology batokenga na ubuka bako chikotwara obumanyi aso gutumika emitandao yekerero gusogo tumeka chinchira chiekerero nere buya abana bonse baikana onya chi computer lab batara bamanyana kiba bwanete kutumeka emitandao yiga kose chinchira chiekerero gukora ibintu ao AI rero mentenere tangani rero nonyekira go so Google go meto buno ko boli gente ketanganiga ekora koretere ujumbe information ya AI kwanza mwenye ukira umete kare yale koreta chi dictionary.
So technology is improving, and you can tell across the all career path. Na bagote banga manepi technology netakere. Kereginto is all about computer. You have to know computer kwa sababu the things we do iko chiko na computer technology. When you talk about no bwarimu, there it's all about technology. Everywhere, everything, it's all about computer. So it is very important. It is something very essential. Umwanafunzi awenta komanya na ende awenta gutwara a training in that part. So, Matilda, according to me, the CBC, the CBE, the C.
I think ise kubwa abantu abiboli aborokiwa na serikali babwatira nebiyobya erabe the best.
And tontwale funding nyingia materials zitakere bona electricity, building and construction. By the time mwanafunzi akukora senior secondary school already no muntu what the skills.
Umuntu gochake mirimo lyo.
No muntu gochake mirimo.
Yes.
By the way, let me tell you, kwa sababu hiyo uchi impress. Look at the white collar job. Bona igachire insufficient. Nechinka chire. Meaning that we have to impress yendo tokoro kanga skill based. Echigachi magoko. Bona otata konta inga umwana by the time akokora senior secondary school we have a building and construction whereby a school setup ebegete infrastructures chingia ebegete gendo tokoro kanga mwarimu mu asomete buyanga kibiro gekobeko. At the end of the day mwanafunzi ogakora
agosoke kurwalia okore mirimo agoso college ka manyete ka what the skills.
Talk about power mechanics. We'll talk about media technology, marine and fisheries technology. And then we have what we call aviation and home science, general science. Talk about metalwork. Amangana yagosana ya, how do we call it? Welding.
Welding usambiriri. Kuunganisha korosi vino echi chuma echi chechi dirisha chiwaya mesh.
It is a very good one unless wana no reservation chigoche. But unless we have a proper implementation and raw materials chigotumeka sobo koredi oboiga chitoke ono mwanafunzi ora ruabo kama etenkia gukora.
Da bo igo yamanya koranga lesson distribution at senior schools. Umete I think mienda lesson yao ikirasi kionsi kwale gutwara kire kwale secondary. How many minutes yarenge kwira?
Was 45.
40.
No 40.
40 minutes.
45, yeah.
Onyemboniga as a senior schools 40. I think as a primary no yarenge 35 minutes.
Yeah.
Ikirasi kiale gote 35 minutes. Na boigo igega as a senior schools I think lesson se chigo chaka mostly saa 2 as school chonsi. Bona I think as a break no to akamigiro wake igega as a secondary school. Metetinge bona primary ngo anda kwalenge break bake ya 30 minutes. Lakini kiro kwalenge secondary ngo kongero konyoro kande break ya 10 minutes.
Actually the longest is 50. Is it 15 or 10 minutes?
Ukubati ni school I think it 10 to 15 minutes.
10 to 15 minutes.
Ngako ya gendale mono.
But Matilda, don't you think when we are talking about abichi lesson ichiga, we have talked about the STEM. Don't you think agaiga majorly sakurigeri erachiko ba majorly based on skill it is skill based. Will we be having lawyers from this setup of education?
Whatever
andake undermine in a way.
Umetedi twari wikaransa for 40 minutes otegere to mwarimu. Boniga okomotegerera mugendete gukora kiri yako basoma. Ere practical se chire chinyinge. Otetika double lessons inchire chiagatonyalire sana. Konyora buna hesabu.
Lakini mbarusi.
Konyora buna chemistry.
Mbarusi.
Lero likireria buna bona asete boiraiga. Lesson distribution at senior schools. Core subjects. Buna bona English, Kiswahili, tupate hesabu chonsi. Echi hapa libanja barachi gukora chisabu chindito ne hesabu engusu tinenereri lakini mathematics yonsi. Na Kiswahili English na community service learning.
So 5 per week. Meaning that
buna bone hesabu egesongo na Kiswahili. 5 chi lesson igonga aseri tuko lesson ya yamo 40 minutes.
Double take over kwa sababu you see the number of subjects geometry njigo chikoba. Lakini and again
bona iga 40 minutes ke wiki minute nga kochi abu cha pichi kogenda pi ichibonte ko baisano you're strictly korengana ne Ministry of Education igonga school njiriko chiko implement I think asa balimu abangi bagusibanyalira remedios no bakwenda kurikamba chinga kichiga igonga hesabu Kiswahili nege songo chiko chikawanga ke lesson yamo asikira lituko sama tukatana se wiki I think as a boarding ande bali babwate gosechi school she boarding ande babwate additional babwate nande chinga kichinde ekiagera mpaka bwate remedios weekend abana no konyara bali school lyoka na tuko na community service learning eyo ebwate amagara muna social studies eyo tugositwabire tukuruka social studies was social education nerere ase ekabwate chile sonisato 40 minutes iko chile sonisata ase wiki mutukona roro otanyore mulimo yokororo nabo iko tukukwanira elective subjects ekiro tukukwana chi option echiga chinde nchibwate naro chibwate nini isano chile sonisano gose lesson ya mokera lituko osama tukatano igo ye wiki na boigo mienda PE eyakabereri mase wiki ekero kuri kalende ngoro PE yakabereri mase wiki
yeah
lakini mostly yakabereri elimo lakini gega physical education ase curriculum yiga ere egochikotwara egochikoba 3
lakini
Three
naranga
lessons, ase
echire
wiki.
3 lessons kwa sababu gaiga kero twara kurigira mangana PE ndoranga physical education and information, so meaning that still the technology the ICT skills physical
ICT gochigotwarekera ebirasi bya
Ebirasi
beno
bibere by
noche
the way.
egega I think sichi double chiri lesson chiri chikoru double buna toka tware math double kusikonya English ere double odo no gochigosoera gaiga physical education iko PE apana bwente kona marakata te wiki for 40 minutes na boigo ICT skills at least marakavere
You see,
ase a week
why maybe we might be having issue na PE ni singe njaba ntabange bakoranga it is not
Dera borokiwa
it's not part of yani learning because it's a sporting activity, but it's very important. Just like I said, to also from morning mpaka evening without having a break. Those breaks are important.
iko na mutware break PE on Monday and mutware in Wednesday
and
Friday
Friday.
iko bwati ndindi
Uzuri taringa iko chikoba on a daily basis go same.
iko mubwate 40 minutes at least ase a wiki a schedule yakuru 8 to 4 to tebe kose 8 to 5 at least asa motukata te wiki no bwate 40 minutes cha
And
free
P-
time weli kugenda ku
and
muntu
P
kwara ya rambra
from the last setup ya timetable, P was normally done between chinsa chirichia 9 to 12. Teko genda, do we have a P afternoon? I don't
na wote ndo wote
P. Maybe at a secondary level.
What
Lakini
the
nzimu
P
nando
afternoon?
ndoche. It was normally yarakoba between saa sita chinsa chiri towards lunch. Nali mostly
Zia bantu bagoyire
yeri abantu bagoyire batagete kuri free. It's the best nini, the best curriculum and one again donare ko boring keringa ki chi subject to ra chiri chinyinge. Talk about the STEM itself, we want to go number 1 to 15. When you're talking about social sciences, we want to go number 1 to 14. Of course, they are.
nani
The
mienda
point is,
mienda igasi timing twali kurigereri toko na emirimo yabo igiswahili nini lesson ko chiage buchapi maragatane wiki kwenye tutarakora physical education ya UPE gatate wiki ICT skills abantu kosomirwa mangana technology marakavere e wiki learner personal or group study ikai gomete bono mbaina ndete bakachingaki cha group study go se personal study elio umuntu gutigeru free time yago wesomera mete bona I think curriculum ye na kige ko gerebe gete difference nene na eri buneri yeito twanyorete ko umuntu nyo gotete group work ase wiki no kwateri tukerimo for some 40 minutes ase wiki mo wikaranse group mo discuss na mienda go swikaransa ebweka bwesomera onyene mekano kwanjite na abo igoto ko na pastoral religious program instruction amangana yogo sasi mako siko kenda gotera musomerane ebuku mukole amangana awantu ene bwate eyemo total number of lessons umoro kiwa bante konyora
per week
ase week eyemo
40 lessons
40 nichi nyingi
40 minus 3
nichi nyingi by the way
40 minus 3 that's 37 one.
Lakini toko minus P yoko minus toko minus P kiagira P ga nonye it's part of the it's part of the system toko nyara kurusana ni P lakini rende kiro kubika chirichia masomo abantu kwikanasa toko rusiye gaya group na urusi P na urusi pastoral program I think naboko ya monta bwate around 36
35 no 35
lessons choko karansa no mwalimu umoro kyo onyare kwegera ebinto ebinge na I think nande got by a copy of this circular the departments of TVET and higher education are requested to review and align their courses in preparation for the first cohort of CBE students who are expected to join tertiary education in the year 2029. Ekiro bako bwa tukari ukeriga ukubolia kwa bongoli na ki TVET institutions chiskuru cyo bobundi chi university chinya kwaliga nikegero gyo ko mwaka 2029 the same learners abo igobagendete gwetera omurubelio yo igomotindi o CBC kwa jo so senior schools bono mbachi gotambuka gosoa se chiskuru cyo bobundi I think chiskuru cyo bobundi mete amageri yao chako baraisi
Au chiko baraisi at least
aboro kiwa bago so aroro already mbaso meta mange kurwa senior schools practicals chinyingi
maybe they did their much as they did the practicals
ever
advanced.
Yes.
And then they go produce a good, those are good citizens.
So
but my point again, no some reservations. I was just thinking, when you look at the STEM, you have more of practicals. So is it that the country is trying to embrace the skill-based curriculum in that abantu professionals? We're talking about teachers, we are talking about lawyers, we are talking about journalists. Don't you think Mbarachikoba is insufficient?
Insufficient.
Sababu abantu abange bono
mete mienda omwalimu oyo tari omwalimu abantu gusoma ku theory omuntu nabaga gukora aichakora mangana buna bono woodwork aite buya amanyite gukora practicals kere gento lakini kago swali achikobu omwalimu nandokora agokora ki okwegeri woodwork.
What about these lawyers? Where are the lawyers, the doctors?
Practicals each chonsi bagokora ekero bakogenda guchibosi omuntu nabo gochora kindi yonsi kerio guchikoba nchibwati muchana osigwa kwandera nga bosi jobs ichi gumuntu akogenda nga tabwene tikokora chi practical abone tokenda ikaransa na masakara
bono maite
irigere ringa abana ba CBC kera bagotema ku practice gokoba nonye chi lawyer ole bintu bagokora boni bako understand a language iri akot ebintu language yaba wakili andage samu mendoro ikaransa tonyora yes igo tebwati muchando ndo bwensi ase muntu oguchikoba nonyo mwalimu omuntu nataka koba omurandie practical stage bachagete mapemo nyo kurandi bachakire yeah I think a system
nyangiere
nerebuya
but only if it is well implemented
abantu orionyorire ko information eiga eisaine kanya kwegeria abana ba mino kanya ko tema kora haba ibori na omuroberi oyoiga igore iga na ndonye turi ko understand bia so anonye mitandao buno muno nonye YouTube sayo metekera go so mitandao yekerero abo konyora abari muna abange baroro ba okora kerere igoro y'omuroberi oyiga OCB ose omuroberi OCBE I think mienda sinka kiretinga ekopi ebwato kiro cha se wizara yetisemi ekiombe gya TSC ndobwate ekiombe kirikiane kikya matemo I think bono na ndo mete kwanya kweboli naki tinga kicha matemo abaro kiwabaiga tinga kicha matemo ane kinga kivago choko ya ikaransera
no, the government is well structured and I think mangana bono wikachiko okay bune as much as yebekete policy then there is a framework in place yo kwanshwanga keregen tonko ba credible at the end of the day.
Yes. Mwancho muligire oyuno murobelyo OCBC twarengi kurigire ose tware gukwandira ayeti semiri tukeriga ari rero kurende ekero tugukura miyendo maite ase ntugutubira okay kero tukwana chisemi ntugutubira yo arenge okore kana ritkurigoro I think kungsana nankware ngore gati omuraibu kyama kya ODM muskerela Odinga boigo
Musani is a wonderful friend omuraibu nsumuske uruke I mean William Ruto ntwabwate argument na igoro off the cameras I was analyzing the whole thing yarengo so mukutano ulia obwe kyama gya ODM na Kenya Kwanza actually yarenge ODM Kenya Kwanza but when we had the signing I was very keen ODM UDA yes. But yesterday it changed from ODM Kenya Kwanza all in all and then the other thing the basically omukutano ulio igorenge at a setup yo kororanga ngakibago chikokore mirimo amo the ODM and the Kenya Kwanza administration and when the former prime minister who they are referring to the prime minister currently matekero romia mwakrumta watogi was it Haron Cheriot or there's someone who started the former prime minister no the prime minister so nothing and he has been criticizing especially the Senate the Senate it's a waste of time Senate koenda go summon omo aba governor kwa boli igore development. And the same argument we had yesterday, I want to koraya reta ga igatora share I don't know sengwa cheto kaligere libuyo karara. And my question was if we have devolution ngakiora unlink the Senate from devolution from the oversight. And we found out that mpaka ngaenda as a constitution, what are the roles of the Senate? There's no point that you cannot eliminate your senator kurukuboria omugavana maswali kwa sababu oversight ni regali fund sinchi regali chiko tomugocha se county, and the senator is the one who looks at which fund is chiko tumeka much as the responsibility a bigger part ekoroka na gochikoba so MCA. But I want to tell you, don't you see, Matilda, we have a compromise of these MCAs. There are those who dine with the governor, there are those who don't dine with the governor. At what point should the MCA summon? When and did we see the MCAs? Bago summon yumo governor inchoto tebinga?
I think bona abuno omanyete, I think kolengana na mangana devolution, abuno misunderstanding ere. Ikiagera omo governor na wente kumurikirwa na kuikaransiwa na ba MCA atebe chibesa chabire bona ke okurigire chibesa chigo so ase chi ward au mosene ntatabona ntiko chabo lisinga chibesa cyara waso ward gete inki chitaso rete usechiga so achireles omo MCA ne robone to kumanya ki chibesa omo governor ose chibesa to eteti chibone to so ase gete e project gete e chinganiga ekiagira omo senate yari abone to kumanya ki chibesa chaso e county irenga 10 billion. 10 billion ichiga kira wizara chibese ringa yanyorte chibese chinji korente miremo aba MCA na bobone tukomanyanga asi chiskuru esi chibese chiga chabwa tugetu onye ne bitatu byare korosigo ward gete mbirenga byare korosigo irenga aba no chali amakama ke ali amashinani bono yebinyoro ime koruchi ward aba MCA na bobone tukikrasi umugamba bamanye lakini bone gegero kurigereria chikaunti chinyinge chibwate crisis ekiagera aba MCA akonyoranga tima itiko sina sinje yo mushahara kuse interest chabonchirechi aba MCA abango konyoranga chikaunti chinyinge nchibwate chi crisis kiagera aba MCA abange bakotaka ku align themselves na governor elinde bakoreki elinde bagende konyoro obosi kose no obosi bavike lakini richi kokolengana ne katiba aba MCA abaiga babonte wikaransi mu governor bamuteka ki nayo murai we county
baitire budget
tubonente gukora twetetie budget chifesa chianganiga chiabonente ward gete kanyorega konyoraga chi ward chinda magendero na roro itinde magendero takoletiki tayo under the same governor lakini kama kanyora omo senator kono mete go chiaba no nyene getiro go cha saba senator ikiagira omo senator acha kikubuli chibese cha so eta segete wizara gete chibese irenga chia ya etu ase county tutebeni county ya Kisii go county ya Nyamira na ndeto onde ngomo senator na chikubulia ngonye wizara ya bono omo si go samanga trade chibese gete chia bwato gitu omo senator acha gotarakire chiro echirere kere ward use echirere se binyoro imenga chibaseringe county abo tugete gucharo nganga kichire yetare enega si aba MCA so ikira umuskere Odinga andake agopinga amangana yaba senator kunyago ikaransi mete omo senator rangeiri aba senator barangiria omo governor wa county ya Nairobi togonte vinga ase bungeri ye senate ekumurikira amangana gete gose ye ikaransi omo governor na baguchikobori igetacho gikale seino ngachibesa nchia chietoro lakini chibesa nchia beta allocated lakini ketachonge kole tiki nkerosiri eyomo MCA na bakobori lakini bono omo senator point kumana ki chibesa cha soete county chinganiga
generally general
yes abantu kuwakilisha county at the national level na ndomo senator asoke atebena ki county yane ne bwato bole mrubo chibesa chinganiga naiga lakini omo governor kumurikeru nkirikia taraikirani omo MCA lakini of which aba MCA baito batu yereti
kwa sababu look at the way
Matilda kosoyo maote magukwana kwanyara bande bangusete magiga.
I like the way you have elaborated and of which is true. So my problem was how can you unlink the senator from
senator
but generally
nande omo senator na pengine ambassador mo senator point actually cover se county mirimo ya eti yoga mo senator point
the county assembly babo enta watch at least at once
bachari moyo bara manyanga ki no nyaba MCO bwa matobo bwa bomprofi no mo governor
lakini one of my problem is Matilda and what I was thinking about you have really explained it well at least no motagareli ororinga aba MCA they are failing and the setup of the county government when we have an impeachment motion in the counties, let me tell you, there's nothing that an impeachment motion yomo governor yanya gocha out of nganegas. Actually, that is politically engineered. It is either governor tata itiko babesa. The same thing that happened in Meru. I can tell you for free. One MC ba compromise. If you are not dining with the governor, the only solution you are giving the governor actually is all about will impeach you. Do you know that? The only chingura ba MC babwate choko tishiro governor na impeachment and impeachment motion. They have forgotten their role of oversight. They should be questioning the governor ngaki e parating akiotaros. The same thing Odinga yesterday arwata bangaki togo samoni mo governor go chasene tumo ngaki para kiotararos. That is the work of an MCA.
Utoko mubuli taracha kusinga agento getengia.
Omo seneta go changa e pare taros maybe because of money. Mangatabanga what are the ways toko nyora we generate revenue which as a county egere pari yokora eros. But the person who should be doing the oversight yokoboling ngaki bintu bitara korekana should be an MCA of which to be honest they have failed.
Buna bono omo senator etoke buna bona samangana tukuriya se wizara yobocheno. Etoke nga chinyagitari ichi buna bona nyagitari ya county nyagitari ne akete arech. Omo chando bere kokone kigwaro. Gose yatwarire crisis. Abo manyeta abasenata nabo bagwekaranza bobole naki omugabana enyagitari echiga gose chinyagitari gete chinyagitari chinene chabonte gukora ki ntibonte konyoro gusira konganiga kurase county chivese chikabalukete eri chinganiga gose nyagitari eri ya failure abarira abange guse ebintu mbire bikendreta robitali byabro lakini dispensary ekale bunabono te guse nyagutamate ekale guse kusenya kuzengo chinyamataro dispensary musene tata kogenda Nairobi achikobole governor ronaki dispensary gete tekore tikete bwate lakini nyagitari bune gaye county nyagitari ya kekare chekero koligereria eto arumo chando na onyomo seneta koru county ende nabakobole naki enyagitari ri crisis kya beraro ninki kegenda taro governor totebinko ninki kegerete enseme igewete boigo lakini asali amake mashinani na kieko grabaga aba MCA babegeto aroro
but take care of that
bawakilisha mwananchi at the county level babeke ba hold governor accountable ase kira chivesa ngichavere chikokora.
And by the way,
I think the mate issue no nyana mangana evitacho. Nte tori kire evitacho bikorosigo. Like asa motukali mokoro kire evitacho bi alenke korosigo andake na CDF. Olikire bone ke krobite ne county. Orole na liora manyenga aba MCA go somo MCA ogo. Nero korwete.
And again, Matilda, you see mo senator tago cha go summon the CC go say aba county director go say no education or your health.
Lakini aba MCA bawate chinguru cyokorangeri omusi kubori naki wizara endego sanda kesotevi ya trade ubonjore bwakorire bia ingiyeko ero yobocheno erebobe
buna bono I see senators by the way oversighting the county government whether I say that what we call statements the what we call questions buna bono if senator Okongo not Okongo the oyo Kisii of course Okongo no yo Nyamira if senator Onyonka stands and Kobolinga, why is the state of KTRH Erega? That is now the oversight you're talking about in the parliament. Because that is now links the county government directly. Are you seeing? The state of Weparagete, a county and Yenewente Korosia, the state of that is the oversight you're talking about. But all in all, Naroje Aaron Cheriot, nothing to Mr. Odinga. Now, I'm telling about the Senate. If we have no right to question maybe governor, then it means we don't have any work. Odinga, the same Odinga. Babuategas, by the way.
Representation here county.
Yeah, by the way, na kiareko machikororanga.
Irebire robie county yao. Ase serikali enene.
Isakoba igo.
Ase bunge.
Maybe mbabu atimeremo. Nado egento kinandengera kwanete.
Meremo yabo senator tari oversight yoka.
Apart from that, nothing to talk about bajumbe mbabu ati any issue yokobeka projects. Which is constituency. That is the work of the national government. But abwenge nto babwente okora oversight. The same thing that they should now ask the president the state of somewhere and somewhere. But when you look at the way CDF is being done, CDF karegu tumkuru as a national assembly or just constituencies. Then the question was, who oversights these MPs, how they are using the Chivesa. You see, they are the ones who should oversight the national government. Nakibago tumeka, bahabaro seriri chiko, bahabaire budget. Wana abuna ande ba kuboria, ama swali, kuchia saba waziri, be it no your education, be it no your national coordination, I mean interior, guseno mo your health. Na bo wento como bolia maswali goronga kichiba sechinga kichia tumekire chia government through their ministries. Kwarade. But now I like Odinga's argument was like inumwa CDF. Who now oversights you? Who asks you questions? Ngaki chibasari chigwata every chia and Nyakeminja primary. How was the procurement and everything? And I saw there was a point. Much as we have the Auditor's General Report, but we need to have that relevant authority. Ego someone yomo jumbe. No, they are never someone. Kuboli wa maswali. That's what now where we have the looting. You president ya tabanga wa jumbe mbaro. The president confessed yesterday and said wa jumbe mbaro ba ko kora obokurumi. Actually.
Tari abajumbe boka nonyina abaseneta gotabanga ebunge yonsi yaichoirwe obukurumi abantu bakubwata amaki kwanyoranga andake useno mu waziri ama mochona kolekanite asegete libaga bakwenda bomwe karase bobolingana kibintu gete bikolekanite iga kwanyoranga bairu gento keke
including the ngaf by the was forgetting the women reps who oversight the women who sit to the women rep bolia maswali enchireli bagos. Have you ever seen how they ask questions hapa waziri karwa ajira? I hope you saw karwa bolia mangana au juang Murkomen Karalengali. How harsh they were. So who now sits with the omojumbe pig amoboli gro
na nyomo wakilishi wa basubati.
No wakilishi wa basubati including even the MCS by then to bwa tiene kiti ya development which is some MCA. At least aba MCA mbabwa teri bagali ko oversight ya governor. But because the way politics are done in this country whereby omo governor yo igachorena chama X igabwata ba MCA bachorena chama X barabange. You see they cannot sit with that governor bamoboling what haven't you done, what have you done and how is it done. So this 2010 constitution, if Odinga was yesterday identifying was the gaps chia tokira the constitution was over tokira seri chikeli. I think that is the one. But we are hoping that the you are identifying some problems, and then we need to go for a referendum to take care of this and that. Let us, if we have identified the gaps in that constitution, there's a way through the parliament that gaps chiko sealed tomanyanga what is happening with the leadership and the constitution of our country, because we need better services by the kentonke yeki yabona keroya to mwananchi services, especially ya mariogaro eparero okonyoranga even the economy of the country yakobabia. You see keroya eparero siri ye minitinga no bonchoreria ikobokore kana sencherengi. But when we have insecurity issues waseno mochio kusongo, it means nga by saa 11 abantu basiike bagoreki lakini biashara mbere ebingi okonyoranga botuko na libi bwa things. That's when the revenue is being generated. So the thing is the government through the elected members of parliament, the MCAs, the women reps and the senators and the governors, by ensuring at least Kenya na the services chingia such that we can now produce our own what we call our own budget as a country. We are capable. I can tell you for free, Matilda, we are capable of raising chipesa in our country to finance our own budget and even loan other countries. But the bigger elephant is the
I think a topic you, especially creator kwa mangana natural resources chirito bwate irachikuba ritukoringa otatiga na goto murayo yo mukubolyanga abara ikorogusi bagenda chi county chinde go sabagenda nonye paka chinsi chesko bagenda bachi gukora benchmarking na kyoburai bagenda tagokorekana gosenda kya magendero awikirani wasi chinsemo ultimately omenye kuburinga after abakore benchmarking ukibakwira na bakora
after
Mekende bachite buna abono Kiaru constituency yo mo jumbe ndindi Nyoro okora benchmarking kero bakore.
You know Matilda, ndindi Nyoro became the enemy of the government. The time was to get go side na umura events. Iliaru siwa se budget, iliaru siwa ase budget ya yarenge budget ya budgeting. I mean a committee of budget, a committee of budgeting, and then iliaru siwa ali na ande kero aba akarusi wa sa chairperson. Na ande bano bagayaka kamurusi be complete kuruase committee ya budget. So that's when the oversight role, I mean, that's when the benchmarking years retoko kuikotikiaro.
Kero bakore benchmarking yengi bakore na bakora.
Nande after bakora benchmarking, after there we saw the some members of parliament who I don't want to mention. Bakora kumwoni, how can we have a constituency doing construction? And bako question. After that
go bachako getumeka against you.
Against you. Inga igara kutumeka andake chinchira chitalingi chingia konyora makendrali. So this is a country by the hypocrisy era sense ya Kenya, you can tell here at the highest. Kwa sababu ndindi nyoro yo kero alengo muyalenge with the government budget benchmarking. Keroba ndindi nyoro abadi whipped from the budget committee and even the budget committee enyene korute chairperson ndindi akabomo hande bakachaka ku question nga ebintu biri bacheta korora nga kiera korete aikiraniti amangana iso. That is the hypocrisy we are having in our country with our politics. What is that nature? Lakini renda barai inchenge ntonda batebi ka kyomwana nje teganyora services chire better egerenga no enenchire tutayetenga economy improve. We cannot improve our economy not unless the services are done well, done by abarai. Nande number 2 enchire to kwenda abantu bakwenda maandamano, then they lay a finger on the president only. That much as you want to do a demonstration about the country, we have elected leaders. Aba muachoreta mo president ninu bado muachoreta aba MC na aba MP na aba kwirende na aba women rep na aba senator na aba governor. Also they should be questionable. Abanta wants people chorire. They should be questionable ngaki inunsteke kimubwate kero economy erega because ninu you are the. In fact, when the Kenya Kwanza agenda was being sold to Kenyans, it was not sold by the president only. It was sold through the MCS Barenga aligned, the MPs, the senators, the governors, and even the women reps Barenga aligned to that manifesto ya Kenya Kwanza. So everybody should be on board. At the time, stake ya ase uchumi yegusareka ayuno murayo chorire. Which is your stake?
Kwa nyoro bare geti na obakora gabande biara batangandake mugavana atomigete andake bateva umurai bense bateva uchumi nembe budget terigo isana eno itari mangana wancho murigira seritko oriarero kegrana chese metwalenge kurigira nto chukomenta amangi kegracia sero na berekera lituko ande mienda na siasa no na butoko no kurubono bakamambe lakini itari mangana igase ritko rero no to korra bo somrobiri gabo Etwani ya Getembe mbia mono kegema ikiagira ogenda tuko mwigeno omwancho murigire Getembe TV chinga kichonse maigane gochasore ayori otarika ujumbe ayori okubwati omuroberi gari tukase rinde asinjira ayobwigeno kegema kolenda utari gukwana manyanga aino ibwengencho nande nayogerete kero muntu andake tukubuka iga tukase rinde twanyara gwetuma asinjira eri yabene kegema gendera kubwati omuroberi inde ime ya Getembe TV chinga kichonse kuro kwa Matildah Obaigwa mienda sam kuro asensemo oyende Obaigwa Mike Wills kone kiache bicha nirio kiasinjira enkirano asa wono bye bye twara omugasomia
Etwani yabugire ayo mworo karugetanda Etwani yabugire ayo mworo karugetanda bana mbale njara ayo mworo karugetanda bana mbale njara uzito somya bamura baje kuya mandegere uzito somya bamura baje